What is going on, everybody? It's your boy, Alex G, and I'm alongside Mal, and this is the A Couple of Things podcast where we are here to talk about a couple of things. One thing that is pretty interesting, because we always have these conversations about social media and stuff like this, and stuff like that. When do you think, because I asked you this like a somewhat similar question before about when do you think that you'll stop using social media? You said something like in your 30s, right? Or like when you have kids?
Yeah, well, I feel like I want to stop, but I will use it definitely a lot less once I have kids because that would be my focus.
One thing that I thought, I'm like, we're in like a era, a generation of where, and sorry guys if my speaking is a little out of whack because I'm watching the game behind behind the camera, so I'm trying to pay attention. But we're in an era where so much of what's purchased and posted on social media and stuff like that is really done for attention. You know what I mean? Like, basically what I'm trying to get at, when do you think people will give up the, I bought this bag, I'm trying to be an influencer type thing?
30s. Because I feel like once people get to that age and realize that they really didn't do anything for themselves except flex for the internet, they're going to realize that they got to get it together and that it doesn't hit the same. Like, because at that point, there's going to be our peers, some of us are going to be probably in big houses, actually doing things. And then there's going to be people who are still kind of living, like, I feel at a certain point, you're going to be able to tell who has money and who doesn't.
Yeah.
A lot of us who make good salaries now, that gap is going to get very wide. Like when you're in careers where the salary is likely to reach high levels, you're going to see that between, from people whose jobs don't really have much salary growth. So right now we're kind of like, it seems like everybody's kind of on a level playing field somewhat. Even those people that are making good money, you still kind of feel like you're like competing with them because you feel like, oh, I brought that, so I got money too. But like I think there's gonna be a point where like that salary gap widens, and you're gonna see who really got money. People who got properties, people who got houses, people who do certain type of trips. You're gonna be able to tell. And then people who fake it, you can't fake a house. You can't fake a car.
The funny thing is, like when I first thought about that initially, I was like, I think maybe around like 34 to give like a very
mid-30s.
specific number. But then now I'm really thinking about it. I think that people will still continue to do that kind of stuff even in their late age. I think that they will.
Our generation, yeah.
Yeah, I think people will really go, because that's like the behavior now. People will be on their last $20. He's like, how are people doing this? How are people doing that? Given where they work, and it's like, oh, they literally have $100 in their bank account.
Yeah.
But they went on the trip, so perception, is a certain thing. I don't think that that's gonna stop.
Yeah, I think like you said, like because like our generation, we grew up on this, so we're kind of stuck with social media. Cause you have grown people now who be trying to flex. Like you go on Facebook sometimes, you see them like, older people, older family members I have, and it's like, or get my mom see it on Facebook and she'll just tell me about stuff that's like people are posting. It's just like, wow, these people are really like in their 40s, 50s still trying to flex on each other.
Yeah, it's sad.
And that's people who didn't grow up with social media, like we did.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, I think people are still gonna be trying to make it look like they're doing good. Because when they see people doing well, who are actually doing well, there's gonna be people who don't want to feel like they're that far behind. So they're gonna do whatever it takes to make it look like they're doing well. So like you said, they might use that last a couple hundred in their account to go on a trip and then get to the trip and don't even do nothing. Yeah. They even notice that people who go on vacations, no offense to people who do this, but people who go on vacation and don't do anything else but be there, kind of to like, I get like you want to relax, I get that, but lots of times it does kind of say something like yeah, you guys not gonna do no excursions, no activities, no nothing,
Drink.
Yeah, they just drink, like,
Which is expensive, but
I mean it is expensive, but it's like easy to finesse, if that makes sense. Like you all split a bottle, you can't split jet skis. Like yeah. you paying to be on the one jet ski, like you own. Like you can't split when you go skiing. Like you have to pay for the rentals. You have to pay for your lift ticket. So lots of times people will go to these places and then they get there and don't do nothing.
But even still, credit is a thing.
That's the thing.
And
people could fake it their lives so much with credit cards, and keep opening credit cards and be in massive debt. And paying the minimum off. So they're still kind of getting off because they're not using much of their own actual money to pay those cards off.
And I know them Afterpays and Klarnas and all them things is adding up. You know, there's a
yeah, I know. Oh my god, I like not even to because I feel like it's cool, but not not to like down people who do that. But I never in my life have done an Afterpay, Klarna, none of that because I feel like if I don't have it, then I don't got it. Like if I don't have it now, then I don't have it now. I shouldn't be buying it. That's my mindset on it.
You know, there's like a not to get into business stuff because I want to stay on the original topic, but you know, there's a beef between credit card companies and the Afterpay people.
Really?
Because the credit card companies are like,
they're losing customers.
Yeah, because it doesn't impact your credit score and there's
no interest.
Yeah, so it's like, why would I pay for a credit card when I could just use Afterpay?
Yeah, and
yeah. So now it's starting to not make sense. So what are the credit card companies doing? Making their own. But that was just some business stuff.
Yeah, because there's so many of them like this now. Isn't there's Afterpay, Klarna? I've seen another one.
Afterpay got bought by somebody. I forget who. Somebody huge, like PayPal or something.
Yeah, I've seen them before though. That's like different random names about for like those payment plans.
Yeah, Affirm is
Affirm.
one.
Yeah. Affirm had like been around for a minute.
Yeah.
And then Afterpay and Klarna popped up.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, it was just coming to my mind. I'm like, when are people gonna give it up? Is basically my thing, and I was trying to figure out when that timeline might be.
It's just hard because this definitely is like I feel like our generation is gonna be stuck on social media, but at the same time, I feel like for a generation that's so consumed by it that remember we were talking about this before, a lot of people are actually getting tired of social media.
You know what? One thing too, also to add to the conversation, is that people may never stop because the reason why people are so easily impressed in our age now is because there aren't a lot of people that are quote unquote successful, like career successful, monetary, whatever your definition of success.
Yeah.
Mine for this example is how much money you have, how much money you make.
Yeah. People
are able to get that off now today because there's such a minimum amount of people in our age group that are able to afford that. So if somebody buys a Louis bag, it's easily impressible. That's a word.
Yeah.
It's impressible. Hopefully that's a word, but if it's not, whatever. Yeah, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
To a wide range of people, but even as we get older, that small group of people that are successful, and again, based on monetary standards, that's still such a minimum amount of people. That if those people still are doing that same behavior, buying a Louis bag, it's like, oh, you still blah blah blah. They're still gonna get it off, basically.
Yeah.
So they might never stop.
Yeah, because like we always talk about the stats.
Maybe when the kids show up.
Yeah, and that's when you can't really fake it because you got to use that credit card to go pay for the diapers. But like, remember we brought up that stat. Like, when we talk about how much we get paid among our age group, obviously it's a small percent. But even when you compare it to like, people who are in their 40s, 50s, 60s, a lot of people aren't making that really great money. So like you said, there's always going to be that group of people who's always going to be stuck in that same salary range. So there's going to be impressionable to people forever. Because there's always going to be them making more than a lot of their peers.
Yeah.
But like I said, that's why what's really going to be impressionable is like houses. Like, let's see how your house look. Let's see what you drive in. Like I said, you can't fake that. I mean, you kind of could fake what you drive though, because you could put down nothing. You could lease. You could
fake what you're driving more than you could fake where you live.
Yeah, where you live, you can't.
Yeah.
You still can though, because people put down like 2% on a house.
But that's maybe unless people just don't know. But that's all public info, so
Oh yeah, that's true.
Do what you want, but if you put down $1,000 on a house, then
I'm judging.
I'll be able to see it.
Yeah.
I'm never looking it up.
I don't care enough.
Honestly, really don't care at all.
Yeah, but that's wild. $1,000 in a house
is insane.
That's not even like 2%. That's like 0.1%.
Yeah.
Whoa, what are you doing? Couldn't hear myself. But yeah, that's why like there's a lot of stuff like I don't know, and like that's the thing, because even if people are faking it and trying so hard to keep up with that, right? Like you say, using their credit cards, but you can't use a credit card to buy a house. But I don't know. Wait, did they just go 4-on-4 again and lose it? Yeah, they definitely did. Mm-hmm. Oh no, not theirs 4th. But yeah, that's gonna be stuff you really, really can't fake. Like you could fake even really expensive chips because credit cards. But yeah, you really can't fake a nice house. But I mean, you kind of could.
You could
because
That's
you could.
A lot harder to do,
it's harder, but like you could kind of scramble up your last change, have as much money as you. But But I don't know. It's hard. It still is hard because you have to think like I think about like my parents, for example. They got their house in the 90s, right, for 100K. That house, like I moved at 10, so it was 10 years later. Not even, because I was in New York. Like we lived in that house for like 8 years. I lived in Brooklyn for 2 years. So we lived there for 8 years. In 8 years, that house value went from 100 something to 400 something. That's not gonna happen again in our lifetime, probably. A huge jump like that in 8 years. 8 years. I mean, it might happen again, but that's crazy, right? Perspective. 8 years, they got it for 100 something and 400, and so they were able to in 8 years. Still kind of like not. It's not like that's nothing. No time passed, but like they had that leverage of that house that they were able to sell and then get the bigger house and they're making more money. But these days you can't do that no more. These houses are not starting for 100,000. These houses are starting for 400. 500. Like that was a 3-floor house in New York, an hour from New York City that they got for $100,000. But a huge backyard. My backyard was huge. Like I miss that backyard. What, my jewelry?
Oh, yeah, I was like wondering what that sound was. I was like,
that's not happening no more. That type of house, 3-floor house. I mean, was it 3 floors? I think my house was 2 floors. I'm thinking of my house now. Well, their house, the basement. We didn't have a basement, but we had a landing. So that didn't really count the floor. It was like a landing. It was a ranch style house in Long Island. So
split level.
Yeah. Because we had a landing. It was weird. Like you walk in on a level, yeah, and then it's down. Up and down.
Yeah, split level.
Okay, that's what it's called. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, yeah, that's not gonna happen anymore, and you can't fake that. If you don't have that, you may not need to have a huge down payment, but I don't know. People aren't dumb. They're not people are dumb, but it's like, would you really put down like nothing on like a big nice house? You won't get approved for that. That's the thing too, because you can't fake good credit. You can't fake good credit, and people who have people don't realize that they keep doing this, taking out money, and running up their credit cards to try to live up to a lifestyle. They're not really gonna ever have that lifestyle because your credit is so important. You're damaging your credit. Like that debt to equity ratio. It's not good for your credit score.
It depends. Because this was part of the issue with the whole financial crisis in the first place. Those companies will give loans to people that shouldn't be, shouldn't be having those loans. Because it's more beneficial to them because those type of people are going to pay the longest and they'll make the most interest off it.
Yeah.
Houses are different, but definitely for stuff like cars, or credit cards, they'll give those things to people. Knowing they'll make the most interest off it. Because, like, we were having this conversation before. I'm like, it must suck to be, like, like the people I use my credit card, like, where my credit card is from. Because I only have one.
Could you always pay?
Yeah, I'm like, what? They're sick because, first of all, they're paying me points on my purchases. But second of all, they're getting no money on interest. So there's really no benefit to them at all.
Yeah.
But to other people, they're making a killing off it. But
that's the thing, though. They'll give you the loan, but your interest rate is going to be high.
Yeah.
So still having good credit. Like, that's why people were talking about that conversation. Like, why do people... It was like Lil Duval made, like, a dumb tweet. Like, why do people flex credit score? Like, you're bragging about taking on more debt. I'm like, what? A credit score shows that you're, like, financially literate, that you're responsible, that you pay your stuff on time. And, like, you're taking on debt, but if you have a good credit score, your interest rate is low. So that's still a flex. Like, I don't know. People always just hating on something. But, yeah, that's the thing. They might get approved for those loans, but once those interest rates hit, you better be paying so much money just to say you got a house now. Whereas some people would have to have a good interest rate and put down a good down payment, and they're paying less on a mortgage than we are for here. Mm-hmm. So it's like, yeah, you flexing that, but now you in a house paying more than you would if you were renting, and paying a lot of that towards interest. So, I don't know. The social media flex and stuff. That's why, a lot of people are really getting tired of Instagram for that reason. Because that's where a lot of that happens at. That doesn't really happen much on Twitter. Twitter is more so about just tweeting and conversing and making jokes. Instagram is like that flex culture. And a lot of people are getting tired of the flex culture. And they're seeing right through it.
But TikTok has now become the
TikTok,
place,
yep.
The place of
the flex culture. Yep. Everybody wants the aesthetically pleasing videos, looking like their life is perfect and everything's so clean.
Drinking smoothies and going to the gym.
Yeah.
No, just mad regular shit.
Yeah. Like, oh, you're being an adult. I mean, I like the vlogs. They're cool and they're cute, but it's just the people like people be like looking at it and be like, "Oh my god, your life is perfect.
And
Could you drink a smoothie and went to the gym?"
and the funny thing is, the people leaving those comments are probably people that are like 12.
Yeah,
So they don't even understand.
yeah, and I get that. Like for them, that's like an aspiration, which okay, it should be. You should want to have a stable life in your young 20s and be able to go drink a smoothie and go to the gym and go to work. And like, it is motivating because I will admit, a lot of times like you see, I'll be on a funk and I'll watch TikTok about it. Right, you know, I gotta get my life together. Like, I'm gonna get up, make sure I get up in early and go to the gym and try to do these things. So.
Yeah, there should be a flex culture out
It's
here.
definitely like that's the sad part. Like, all right, ooh, people are finally getting over Instagram and the flex culture. Then TikTok, here comes TikTok, and TikTok started out as just fun dancing, but like you said, now it's becoming a day in the life of a 24-year-old entrepreneur, and then it's like, or me going shopping. It's like the low exposure, and everybody showing all the like name brand stores, and then they didn't even buy anything there. You know, they didn't even go inside. Like they just recording the streets.
Yeah, I'm not gonna kill. That's really all I had. Was just wanted to bring that up. I was gonna, because you could have this conversation forever. You could talk about what the whole brand name thing, but I feel like we've probably done that before.
Yeah, because there's a lot to unpack with that conversation. But like I said, like the main thing I always emphasize, and for anybody who's watching, it feels like insecure about the flex culture. 90% of those people are struggling. That's real. 90% of those people are struggling. Not maybe that's 90%. That's too high. People your age that you know personally, 90%. Yeah, there's definitely a lot of people on Instagram and TikToks that got money clearly because they live in nice places. Like I said, where you live and where you drive is usually the teller. Well, not really though. You can still fake that.
Even still, right? Like, it's like that luxury stuff. Even if you can buy it and be fine, it's still not for even people that like we'll keep it 100.
It's really not even for us.
Yeah, it's not for even people that make 100.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, that's
Honestly,
not
I
what
feel
that
like
stuff is for.
150.
If that.
Yeah, if that, because like we saw yesterday when we was at Dover Street, these jeans I really want. I'm like $400. Can I afford that? Yeah, but would that be dumb to buy? Yeah, it would be, because that's $400 that I could literally use for my bills. You know, that's $400 like that. Yeah, I could afford to lose, but I'm gonna feel that 400 being missing.
And to me, and this is kind of like why I got into, learning more about.
Even though I spent 400 on sunglasses.
Those are 400.
After tax, yeah.
You one of them?
I put on my credit card. I'm about to get those venture points up so we can go on a trip.
Oh well.
Yeah, I got a lot of points from now.
Countering everything you just said.
No. But I literally, I'm getting paid Thursday. I'm paying that $400 off Thursday, so it's gonna be nothing.
Well, you're supposed to wait, but whatever.
Wait, what? Until the next payment?
You're supposed to wait till it's reported. If you pay it off the second that you buy it, then it doesn't get reported on your credit.
Okay, so I gotta wait then. I'll wait till the 16th then. That's when my next payment is due.
When it's on your actual statement, that's when it.
It was still pending. It was still pending.
So when I say I buy something and then immediately pay it off, I don't mean I come and bless you, immediately transfer the money.
Sorry,
you have to wait till it's reported, so that way you get a double benefit.
So you wait like a week.
No, you wait till your statement comes out, because if my statement renews on the 16th, and I made the purchase on
like the 12th,
the 17th,
I
have to wait until the next month on the 16th.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Before to pay it.
So mine's the 16th too.
Yeah.
So I should wait till February 16th then to pay it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because you're not gaining interest necessarily on the
I did that so many times though.
Yeah.
I always pay my credit card before the statement, low key.
Because the balance doesn't exist. Like, your balance isn't reported. Like, you could have a zero balance, buy a $5,000 item, and it's not on your credit score until it's reported, which is done monthly, once a month. And that's how you build your credit score. Yeah. But if you buy a $5,000 item, immediately transfer the money, it's like it never happened, because there's no balance reported, because it's canceled out. But anyway,
good enough.
Yeah, we gotta get in our business bag. But yeah, I feel like I had something to say. What were we talking about?
We were saying something.
Yeah, we was on a roll.
Oh yeah, no. I said Oh yeah, we were saying how luxury stuff's not really even for us,
Oh yeah.
and that like that's why none of us really should be buying it until we reach a certain level.
I know people hate when Jay-Z gets brought up when you talk about business and stuff like that, and I do understand that. But I think you have to take bits and pieces of what people say to like get a better understanding of everything, and that's how you learn the most. You don't learn the most by learning a bunch of stuff from one person. You learn it from a bunch of different areas. But one thing that he did say in that Drake song, I forget what it's called, but it's on CLB. What's it called?
I don't know, nothing from that mid album.
But he was like, you guys know the price of everything but the value of nothing. One of the things that kind of pushed me into getting into what you would consider vintage or archive designer fashion is because so much of fashion in itself is made off of the belief that you're like in a certain exclusive club if you buy an item. And what I mean by that is that Chanel and all these places are able to profit off of people yearning after a specific lifestyle because the perspective is that if you buy this, then you're this. Like people want people would rather buy YSL bags than Saint Laurent bags, even though Saint Laurent is more expensive
Because they want that YSL.
The YSL logo.
Because Saint Laurent logos are so small. You ever like sometimes see a lot of them?
Even though Saint Laurent is more valuable. If you bought a Saint Laurent jacket.
The YSL is like the CDG play of CDG.
Incorrect, but I know what you mean. The brand originally was Yves Saint Laurent, and then once Hedi Slimane took over it in I think like 2012 or 2011 or something.
That reminds me of this TikTok I saw. This
20 sometime around there.
This girl's boyfriend, I think, got her a YSL bag for Christmas, but it didn't say YSL on it, and she was mad. And then so then he returned it and got her the one that the black one that everybody always gets that literally says YSL. Mm. And even everybody in the comments was kind of her like, oh, you only wanted that one because it says YSL. She's like, no, I like this one better. I was like, no, you just don't.
Yeah, Saint Laurent is infinitely more expensive than Saint Laurent.
Like that's so rude to me. Well, let me see if I find it.
But people like you're paying more for something for no reason, and that's stupid. Because if you're gonna buy a designer, then buy like the right designer. Like, you know what I mean? Like the whole investment in investing in clothes and all that stuff, I feel like is getting convoluted because then now everybody's buying everything and saying, "Oh, this is my investment. I'm gonna hold on to this forever." It doesn't really work that way. But like just paying specifically for like a brand name is crazy to me.
Probably just buy YSL and I cried, so he changed it and say, "Look, he brought her that bag. And that's the one she exchanged it for." And everybody's like, well, why didn't you like that one? What was wrong with that one?
Yeah. It's crazy. The flex culture thing is crazy.
Why you cried? Because it didn't say YSL on it.
That's exactly why.
Someone said it looks like a Telfar.
No.
I mean, crying is so
because
nice.
There's no logo on it.
Yeah. Literally,
because you put that YSL logo on there and it's gonna hit, right?
Yeah, like, or if Rihanna wore it.
Yeah, I just feel like a lot of money is spent stupidly on designer when it's like you're kind of low key overpaying for it because there's no real. I think intrinsic would be the right word. There's no real intrinsic value to a lot of the newer designer items because back in the day when the actual designer was making the stuff, it cost more. It's like more valuable because the actual person like. Anything that Saint Laurent himself, Saint Laurent, actually designed would be more valuable. But nowadays it's just profiting off the name. So all the stuff you're buying, you're just buying like, and you could see it. You could buy literally like a $2,000 jacket from any brand, try to go sell it to like resell it, and then it's instantly devalued by like $600.
Yeah.
Because it's not valuable. Nobody cares. Like that's the thing. Nobody cares about your bag except for the randoms that don't know how this stuff works. Like a Miri is expensive for no reason.
Yeah. And the funny thing is, stuff only becomes expensive because people make it expensive. Like it was funny because some girl was explaining NFTs in like layman's terms on TikTok. So she used Chanel bags as an example. She was like, So let me use Chanel bags as an example. She was like, you go to the store, you see the bag you want, whatever. I think she said like you buy it, you keep it for a few years, the value goes up, and you decide, oh, I don't really want this bag anymore, and then you sell it, and somebody else wants it. Basically, that's how she explained it. So she's like, NFTs is like the Chanel bag. Like you're buying something, and then you're selling it later for a higher price because the value goes up. Like she basically kind of explained it like something along those lines. And people in the comments were like, yeah, but why would I spend? Like I would spend $20,000 on a Chanel bag, but I'm not spending $20,000 on digital art, like because it's a Chanel bag. And people were like, "But why do you think that Chanel bag is worth $20,000?" Because people made it worth $20,000. Like that's the same thing with art. Like the people not realize art is literally like the reason why art is valuable is for the same reason people decided it was valuable. So I don't get why people were so confused by that. They're like, "Well, $20,000 for a Chanel bag makes sense," and it's like, "Well, why does it make sense? Explain why you think it makes sense." Why do you think $20,000 is worth it for a bag? And she didn't have an answer because it's like it's worth that much because people made it worth that much. Like the materials and all that didn't cost $20,000 to make that bag. So
probably didn't even cost $100 to be honest.
So you're paying that because you think that's what you're supposed to pay because people put that value on it. I'm like, that's literally the same thing with NFTs, like,
or with anything,
or anything, yeah,
or real estate, anything.
That's why some like crazy like those boots that Kanye's been wearing. Weren't they like $100? Not even. Weren't they like $50? Now they're worth like $4,000. Mm-hmm. Look how simple. That's how it happens. That can happen with any brand.
Or literally anything, like gas. Like,
yeah.
You know, we got to pay more for gas today.
And of course, there's going to be like luxury items that exist because it's higher quality, of course. So it's going to be a price, but the value still is a lot more higher than it should be. If everything was at its value, we would get Forever 21 clothes for like 50 cents.
Less than that.
We would get designer clothes for like hundreds of dollars.
If that.
Yeah. But nothing is going to be at its true value. It's going to be.
They do use different materials and stuff like that, so I'm not going to be one of those people.
Yeah, I could tell. Even this hoodie that Mira got me for Christmas, I don't know what it is. She said it was like kind of pricey. I could tell. I'm sweating in it because it's very warm. It's thick. You can feel this material. Look, feel it. This is like a thick material, right? Can you tell? It's a good quality hoodie. Like, feel it. You can tell this is like thick. I don't know what it is, but I'm hot. Like I'm literally sweating it. Like feel the inside.
These hot lights.
No, but
it's fleece.
No, but it's a good material. I don't know. Like she said, Gabby. And what's the name? What's that? Gabby. That's dating the football or married to the baseball player. Oh my God. Basketball player, the one with the gay son. Oh my God, that's
terrible. Dwayne Wade has won NBA championships. And that's the way you want to describe it.
I forgot.
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
No, I'm just having like one of those brain freeze moments. Yeah, Dwayne Wade, Gabrielle Union. See, sometimes I just have like I forget. Sorry, that's the only way I could think to describe. Yeah, they wore this hoodie apparently. So I don't know who. She said somebody in Newark made it or something. But I could tell this is a good quality. But it still probably wasn't worth whatever she paid for it. I think she paid. Of course, like,
nobody's never selling
50 or 100.
But it's extreme upcharging.
Yeah, which you have the right to do that. You created a brand, people loved it.
Which is true, but people are buying things because of the fact that they're expensive, which is a horrible reason to buy things. A horrible reason.
Like, even we've seen it with Chrome Hearts. Chrome Hearts items went up so much. Like to buy some of their items went up like crazy. It wasn't that expensive. Even a few years ago, before people even knew what Chrome Hearts was, you know. It wasn't that expensive.
Yeah.
Dang. This is a good game. But yeah. So that's like the crazy part. It's like that. Like,
people want everything just because it's expensive.
Yeah, that's why the girl really was making her snitch on herself. I won't pay that for a bag. It's like, well, why? Why would you pay that for a bag? Explain. Why do you think that's worth $20,000? It's a bag. The same way people be like, it's just digital art. It's just a bag. Same thing. Like, why would you pay $20,000 for a digital art?
It's because they can't show anybody the NFT.
Yeah.
Like, even with the celebrities promoting NFTs, it's still not swaggy to people because they can't show them.
Yeah.
But
that's why
neither is real estate.
No, but that's why that influencer culture who's doing like that after party thing are giving them physical ones to also have.
But even still,
it was like, okay, cool. You got a light up artwork in your house.
Because like, I was about to say real estate. It's not like the best example, but like when you, like I guess you could take a picture in front of your property, but like it's not like you could carry around your real estate with you.
It's kind of like, I hate to talk down on myself sometimes because I talked about this last time about hypocrites. So I'll call myself out sometimes because I fall into the whole trying to flex. That's like when I go out and I always make it. I'm like, people around here probably don't even know I'm an accountant. Like, I always feel the need to say that because I can't show it. So I always feel the need to say it. That's like if someone goes out like, yeah, I'm about to go home to my 4-bedroom, $500,000 house. Like, people will try so hard to make it known because they can't show it. Yeah, so they always try to throw it in. Because that's me sometimes. I will admit that's me sometimes. I'm like.
That's you all the time.
I'm like, watch this. If someone comes try me, I'm going to tell them I make more than them. I'm an accountant. Because they can't tell I'm an accountant. Like, I get that. I fall into that sometimes. Because I be wanting to prove that so bad. Because people see me. They wouldn't even know that's what I do. And for some reason, that bothers me. Because I know the stereotypes exist. It's like, yeah, I look like this. I'm just like this right now. But Monday through Friday, I'm busting down those reports for a Fortune 500. Don't play with me. So I get what you mean though, because like they really like that's why people care so much about designer and buying something, because they want to buy something that makes it look like they have money. So you're looking, you're like, oh, they got that bag, they got that, they must got money. With a house, you can't do that. With NFTs, you can't do that. That's why
everybody has it as a profile picture.
That's what I'm about to say. Yeah, that's why that's so whack and weird to me. Like all of a sudden, everybody's profile picture because they want to flex. Oh yeah, look, I'm a part of this. I'm doing this too. Like humans are so weird. And I'm saying that with even me criticizing myself. Why are we like this?
Social acceptance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's not why I do it. I do it because I like flexing on people who try to downplay me. Because I only do it for that reason. Like when I feel like someone's looking at me weird or stereotyping me or following me, I'm like, girl, don't follow me. I probably make more money than you. You follow me around the store and looking at me weird, and I probably make more money than you. Like that's why I get mad when stuff like that happens. So that's why I feel the need to do it. So I don't do it for social acceptance. I do it because you're not going to play with me on my name and my life's work. My 25 years of life. My life's work. You're not going to play with me.
To be honest with you, you shouldn't even be in those stores.
What stores? Where I'm being followed? No, but they follow you anywhere. Not really. Target, yeah. It happens. It happened to me in so many random stores, like just going to the regular store like Target and stuff. Even yesterday, when I went to Macy's, like, that was more so you could tell they make commission, I'm sure, right?
Yeah, of course.
So that was probably different. But, then again, I'm coming in there with a hoodie. I'm black. I mean, I had the Louis bag, but that's still that's not saying much when you got, like, not a super expensive Louis bag. That's so what I was trying to explain. I just get uncomfortable because I feel like they're watching me. Like, I'm looking in the corner of my eyes and they're looking. Like, it's just, I'm like, there's alarms on these glasses. Relax. I'm not going to run off with them.
Yeah, but that's why you don't have that exposure, because I've worked in retail and you work as a cashier.
Yeah.
I worked in retail sales in 2 different places, and for the most part, not that bias and those things don't exist, but literally you will get in trouble if you don't, like, if your manager doesn't see you approach a customer and they're just standing there, because then that becomes a Yelp review later down the line, like, oh, I walked in the store, nobody said hi to me, nobody greeted me. Like, that becomes a Yelp review. A lot of those times, people are just doing their job. Like, they don't care. People don't care enough. Like, they're getting paid $9 an hour. They don't care enough to stop. They're not trying to be super cop and stop people. They're really just trying to do their job.
It's just that paranoia that exists because of just culture, history.
And people.
With being black in these stores, like, it does happen.
It definitely. That's why I don't want to dismiss it or ignore, like, and say that those things don't happen, because they definitely do.
But it's likely them just being pushy because that commission.
And also, because you had literally every morning when I clocked in at Macy's, they gave me a little receipt thing. And it would tell you how much you have to sell today every morning, or every time you clocked in your shift. So you see, well, they didn't give it to you, but like when you clock in, it prints out a receipt telling you the second that you clocked in, what your sales total is. And when you go on lunch or you clock out for the day, it'll tell you what time you clocked out and how much you made, if you went over, under your goal, whatever. So when you come in the morning and they're saying sell $8,000 worth of stuff, you got to sell $8,000 worth of stuff, or else you're going to get fired. Like, seriously. Yeah.
And that's why I don't want to be like that, because I don't know. It's just, you're in Macy's Herald Square. Like, that's the Macy's. Like, that's like the Macy's. Like, you go in there, those designer stores. I didn't even realize. I haven't been there so long. I'm like, dang, I forgot how it was like. After I brought the glasses, I went to get my stuff from my makeup. I went up the stairs and there was a whole thing. I was just so mad luxury stores. I'm like, I don't know all this was in here in the Macy's. Like, I was so confused. Like, it literally was like, I thought I was in a mall. I'm like, am I in a mall? I'm like, no, this is Macy's, right? Like, everything, all that's Macy's. So, you're Macy's in Herald Square. Like, I'm sure they deal with people. So, there's still probably that element of watch out, because you're in New York City. But I'm sure they, it was more so them trying to be nice and just help me out and like you like get that commission, get that sale. Even when I was like, oh, do you have these in black? Because the ones that I got, they only had like they had some cheetah print one or something. And I was like, do you have black? And she was like, yeah, I'll look and check it. And then no, she was pressed. If we don't have them, you can order them here. Like I'll help you set it up. So I was like, okay, maybe she just pushy. She just trying to get her sale.
Yeah, because there's just
and
a lot.
That's why I hate going in stores by myself because you probably would have pushed me away. But like, no, you can find them cheaper online. But I was like,
The commission-based jobs are different because they, like, I didn't work a commission-based job in Macy's, so I had to hit my goals. But if I didn't hit it, it wasn't detrimental. For the sales commission jobs, if you don't hit it, then you get fired, like for real.
Dang.
Like, which are the suit department, shoes, and the fragrances.
and
Basically,
all of them,
anybody that doesn't sell clothes, like any department that doesn't sell clothes itself,
Yeah.
you're liable to get fired.
Dang. That's why even when I went to get the makeup, like I literally was like there for 2 seconds. Hey, can we help you? I'm like, actually you can. I'm looking for the product for you. And she's like, right here. I was like, oh, I'm standing right in front of it. And I was like, well, that's all I want. So she might have got points for helping, because she got a sale directly off of helping me.
Yeah.
So how Macy's works is everything in Macy's, even if it's like a separate company, it's still within Macy's. So like those workers were Macy's workers. They weren't Sunglass Hut workers, but it was Sunglass Hut section in Macy's. Like it was the Anastasia Beverly Hills section, like in Macy's.
Yeah.
So it's not like it's not like those were Sunglass workers, like Sunglass Hut workers. They were Macy's workers.
Yeah.
But Sunglass Hut just has a stand in Macy's, so
Yeah.
they get a cut too.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just like the finish line workers, all that stuff.
Yeah.
You're on Macy's paper. You're not on finish line's paper.
Yeah. This is a good game. But yeah. Okay, so I get that.
Yeah.
But that's why I was saying that's why I don't do it for social acceptance, because for me, and I'm sure I've done it sometimes. But a lot of times for me it's just like that whole needing something to prove type thing, because it's like you just know how society is. And I just like I just think back to when I was at ShopRite working there, and like customers would say stuff to me that was like kind of like they were being sideways, like, oh, are you in school? I hope you're in school. I'm like, bitch, what you mean? Sorry, I didn't mean to curse. I just got mad. Like, what do you mean am I in school? Yeah, I'm in school. I'm gonna have my master's by 22 years old. What about you? Like, I just hate like that when they were trying to be funny. Like, what do you mean you hope I'm in school? Yes, I'm in school. I'm here for the summer, trying to make money so I can go back to school and spend it on clothes and I'm going out. And now it's like that same person, I wish they could see me now. Like, girl, relax. Like, it's just, I dealt with that living, because you didn't grow up in a time where, there's racism exists everywhere in all classes, but dealing with those hillbilly white trash races that were in like Peterborough, like in the surrounding areas, it just was like, and it was crazy because you didn't just get that too. You did get the pretentious racism from the people from like my town and Low Pass. So you got a combination. So dealing with that, living in a red county, I just have a different, I kind of just have more paranoia about stuff. So I just always feel like I'm on edge and got something to prove. Like, yeah, I got all these piercings and a tattoo and my hair is pink and I got a face full of makeup and I'm wearing Jordans. But I'm an accountant, and I just feel like I have to prove that since I don't look like a typical accountant, So that's not for social acceptance. That's more
that is for social
racial
acceptance.
acceptance.
No, that's for social acceptance. It's the same thing.
Yeah, because it's still social.
Because why do you care?
Because I don't want them trying to put no negative perception on me.
But they're gonna do it. People are gonna think however they think, and there's nothing you can do or say to control that.
You're right, and I shouldn't care.
Like, literally, you see it all the time. Like, literally, LeBron James has created $35 million college fund to put people through school, and people still have something negative to say.
But that's that whole shut up and dribble thing.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. People will never. You can be the greatest person in the world. You see, people hate Elon Musk. People hate anybody. People hate Amazon, even though they're one of the highest labor forces in the entire country.
That's true. Elon Musk smoked that time, and all of a sudden he's this crazy bad person because he smokes.
Amazon, Walmart, they're the biggest like labor force in the country. Probably the reason why this country is even being held together with creating jobs and stuff like that. And people will still always say something negative. There's nothing you could do, nothing you could say. People are just gonna feel how they feel, and then you just gotta be okay with that. But you should feel comfort in yourself. Because like LeBron was saying, he was like, listen, I'm me at the end of the day. I get paid to do this. I get paid tens of millions to do this every day, compete at the highest level. Only a few couple hundred people get to compete on this platform. There's like 400 basketball players at one particular time out of 7 billion people in the world. I get to do this on a daily basis and get paid to do it and put kids through school and do a lot of philanthropic work, and your kids are going to be in the NBA and you're going to listen to what comment somebody else, some random, has to say. That's going to go back to their $1,000 a month apartment and in their misery.
And that's why, like, the same thing with, like, I mean, just in general, you just can't care, because, like, you could be the smartest person. They could put that stereotype on you, and you could still tell them what you do. Like, you could still tell them your career, and they're still gonna be racist. It's not gonna stop them from not liking black people or thinking bad about you.
Yeah, that's what I said. Is who cares? Because find comfort in yourself. Like, who cares? Who cares what people think? Who cares? Like, nobody cares.
Yeah.
And that's why, honestly, I don't care about. The only thing I care about is the perception of things that are going to make me money, because money is power. Like, it is. Unfortunately, it is. Money is what allows you to have more time on this earth, which is short in general. Mm-hmm. It allows you to provide your kids with certain resources. Money is necessary in today's day and age. So I don't care about what anybody's perception is if they're not paying me, because nobody else's comment is going to matter. Even negative press doesn't matter to me, because the positive is what matters.
Yeah.
What check is coming in is what matters. So I don't care what no one thinks. I don't need to prove anything to anybody.
Yeah.
Even when I get my master's, I don't need to put the comma MBA after my name. I don't even need to do that.
But that's not proving nothing. That's just making your things known for for application purposes.
Yeah, but nobody else even does that. Like, you really shouldn't even put that as an MBA. You put that for certifications, because you have a certification.
Yeah.
For a degree, you don't do that.
Well, that's why I never did like MS.
Like, I don't care what people think. Like,
I never did like comma MS. I seen people do that too, like comma MA or comma MS. And I'm just like,
I know when I was the
MBA is different.
No,
comma MBA is more popular and more widely accepted than comma MS or MA.
Nah.
Ooh, did you get that?
Because for me, like,
dang,
I know what me being the only black person in the team that I worked for at one point, and I'm not now, but I know what that was like, coming in there, what people's perceptions may be. I don't care. Like, I don't care what your perception is. I care about what my perception is of myself.
Yeah.
So that's why that whole flex culture and all that kind of stuff, it doesn't matter. Like, who cares?
Yeah, and I feel like that's like going back to the original thing. I think the point that people stop is the point that people stop caring. The point that people will stop being on social media.
You're saying once people stop caring, social media is going to stop?
No, like just like you saying, like when people are going to stop using it. I think that's maybe one of the best answers is when you stop caring. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you'll stop using social media when you stop caring so much.
It's kind of why I stopped.
Like, for me, but it's weird though. Cause for me, like, I don't really use it because I care. I use it because it's a potential money opportunity. You know how many people became millionaires off of TikTok in the last year? Like, you know how many new millionaires exist because of TikTok? Like, it's just always so many ways, and like, why not put yourself in that mix? Why not put yourself in that game when it's priceless to do? Like, you just create content at home and you just be yourself, and next thing you know, you're modeling. Like, people became models of that. People became brand ambassadors. People have businesses, successful businesses. Like, you just never know. People people are friends with celebrities now just from dancing or just making content on apps. So that's why it's like, for me, it's like not really the caring so much. It's more so like this could be an opportunity. Like, you never know what type of life you could have just off of simply a post. Like, one post could change your whole life. So it's like, why not have fun on social media and also put yourself in the running to make some money? No. Side note, what's funny? They just romanticize eating on the cruise deck, but we know in reality how that was windy that was. You don't want to eat up there. But yeah.
Yeah, that's all I got.
47 minutes. That was.
Nah, it was just interesting. We were talking about what were we talking about earlier?
Today?
Yeah, we were having a good conversation.
Oh, it was morning. Well, I was still in bed, right?
Yeah.
Dang, what were we talking about?
We were talking about a lot of stuff.
Yeah. Wait, what were we talking about? That?
We were talking about like we talked about a lot of things, but mostly we were talking about like relationships and women and what are men getting out of relationships and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, that's what we were talking about. Yeah, and how like
we probably didn't talk about it, but if you wanted to get into your comments about the whole, we probably did talk about it last week because I feel like it happened last week. But the little baby Jayda thing.
Oh yeah. Oh, did we know last episode we talked about? Yeah, I don't think we talked about that actually. Cause last episode we talked all about Kanye.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, basically, yeah. You guys know, Lil Baby and Jayda are back together. Like, it's just, first of all, ill. Like, it's the same thing with like, what's that girl who's dating A Boogie, Ella Bands? She has a kid. They back together now. I saw like, I'm like, and she made a whole tweet talking about respect and how she respects stuff, but she'll never get back with him. Like, no, first of all, no offense to these girls, ill. And that kind of goes into the conversation with that video. I don't know, were you watching that video with me? That I was watching on TV the other day about rapper baby mamas. How she was saying, this girl was saying how rapper baby mamas are not celebrities.
I saw the title, but I didn't watch the video. I wasn't here while you were watching.
No, but you know what? You were busy doing something because you were here. And remember, I told you the quote. I was like, did you hear that? Like that quote, because she was reading that quote from, I think I changed it to headphones actually. She was reading that quote from LeBron, where he was saying that if people, all these celebrities that got nothing worth celebrating. Yeah. That was the video I was watching. But yeah, I was watching this girl's video while we were on the rapper baby mama and little baby and Jayda conversation. I think her name is Queen Chioma, so shout out to her. She makes really good videos, or Chalma or something. And she said how rapper baby mamas are not celebrities, and how as like black girls is actually sad. Like they don't have a lot of like, it's important for them to have a lot of black women to actually look up to that are actually celebrities who actually have talents. Besides, because like now you got these little girls thinking they gotta date and have a baby by a rapper to become famous, become an influencer.
You know what the thing is? This is one of those things too, because it's almost like the same thing where they're saying that the only thing that black men have to look up to is rappers and athletes.
Yeah,
you could have a conversation if there's a deeper, darker.
It's definitely something
link.
Deep, yeah.
But the thing is that they obviously exist. It's just, are people? Is it being placed in front of kids? Because obviously, the only successful black people are not entertainers. Like there's way more successful people outside of that.
It's just what are they seeing?
Yeah.
And when you're on social media, unfortunately, a lot of our entertainers that they should be looking up to, honestly, a lot of them are absent from social media. So Beyonce's not very active. She doesn't go on Instagram stories, making stories, talking. She don't go on live. So these kids need that constant entertainment. They want that constant entertainment. So they're like, they're likely to be looking at these influencers. So it's like, yeah, they do exist. But honestly, as a culture, we don't highlight them as much. Unfortunately, we don't. You know
why? Because there's nothing swaggy about saying that you donated to a children's fund or something.
Yeah.
That's literally why people don't, look to other people, because it's more swaggy to say that you bought $50,000 in Louis versus,
you
donating to a cause.
Yeah. And it's just unfortunate because you look at what like white girls might have look up to. A lot of times they got TikTokers, they got a lot of them that they look up to, but a lot of them look up to like people like Taylor Swift, a lot of actresses. So they got like what's her name? Well, Selena Gomez is Spanish, but a lot of like white girls look up to like her, like Blake Lively. Like they have a lot of like, I don't know, like even the Euphoria people love all them, like those actresses. I don't know, I just feel like they have a lot more. Like, I know the Black Girls got Zendaya, so there's people out there. But then we got like, who else did we got? We got Ryan Destiny. You got these people who are kind of just there. Like, what are their talents?
Well, I think she's an actress. I've never seen anything she's in, but
she was in Grownish, I think.
Yeah, I'm not familiar. Anything that she would have been in would not be anything that I would watch, so I'm not really familiar.
I mean, yeah, I guess she's not an influencer, but she kind of is. She kind of goes into that box.
But I think it's because, there's a lot of, white entertainers. There's a lot of black entertainers. There's a lot of, and this is not a white and black conversation, but
it ends up being that though, because it's like black little girls. They looking up to Jayda. They say, I want to be Jayda and Ari when I grow up, and I want to be Instagram model.
I think the only reason why is because we don't run our own shit. We don't, and even the things that we do run, we run it in tandem with the big people, which is the white corporations. Like Fenty is purchased by a white corporation.
Yeah,
Like, it's owned,
but at least
BET is owned
But at
by
least
a white.
Rihanna is a good person to look up to as a black girl. Because you still be like, all right, I look up to somebody who's successful, she's fashionable, like she's classy,
I mean, outside of
she's
that,
intelligent, like she said, speaks. That's why this conversation even started with that YouTube video, is because like the whole Ari losing her Fenty deal. Did you hear about that?
Mm-hmm.
Because I didn't even see what comments that she made, but apparently she made comments about domestic violence victims and like that were like disrespectful, basically I think clowning them and like undermining them. And Rihanna just moved in silence. Like she made some changes behind the scene. Next thing you know, everybody knows she's not, an ambassador anymore. And Rihanna hasn't spoke on it. She may be in an interview, she might get asked, but maybe not. And like that's how you be, and that's why like that was like the main aspect of that video. It's like we kind of can't blame these people because they didn't really ask to be famous. So it's like, when you have a talent and you are a celebrity and you've been a celebrity for years, I think that's what her name was, I think it's Lisa, right? That's what she was one who made that comment about like how these girls don't know how to have PR. But then again, they're like, that's when you realize how regular they are. That's what the conversation is all about. Like you realize these influencers that you guys gas up are not, no offense, but not really worthy of this because you guys gas them up like they're A-list celebrities when she said at best they're probably these are our rapper baby mamas.
Not even that.
And that's why people put them on a pedestal. Like why are you shocked that Ari said something like that? She's ignorant. She's not no classy, intelligent woman. Like no offense, she's ignorant, and she only got famous because she shakes her butt and got a baby by a rapper. Like no, what does she really offer besides that? So it's like, are we shocked that she said that? Like maybe we shouldn't put these girls on a pedestal. They're not celebrities, so don't be shocked. That's who she is. She's got followers. So, yeah, it's like, I don't know. I think there's a lot of problems. Like we give too much attention to these type of girls, because then we have platforms like the Shade Room. Why we got a whole room about being shady?
I think it's because
like a whole page about shade. Like how come it can't be a black uplifting room? It's shade, and like they uplift over there too, but most of it is them being shady and people liking to be catty and jokey.
We don't have anybody, and I mean in the sense that it's at least not promoted. We don't have anybody that runs a huge technology firm or a huge investment firm. We don't have representation. And that is not necessarily anybody's fault but our own. So we'll keep. I said necessarily. I said whoa. I said necessarily. There's nothing stopping a athlete or anybody that has tens of millions of dollars from starting a hedge fund. There's nothing stopping them except them.
And they all could come together and do stuff.
And they don't need to. You have $1 million. You can do a lot with $1 million. You could buy a franchise. You could do a lot of different things with even $100,000. If you have $1 million, you could probably get enough loans and leverage to double, triple, quadruple that investment with $1 million in collateral.
Yeah, like that's true.
Which is what they do. They don't. When these hedge funds don't use their own capital. Yeah. These people that start the hedge funds, they're not putting in their own $10 million. Yeah. Like they're not stupid. They get leveraged loans and do what they do and turn that 10 million into 100. Nothing's stopping us from doing that at this point. There's no excuses. There's no we're so oppressed. Build something.
And there definitely is things that put us behind for sure. But like I do think that it gets to a certain point where it's like, okay, we can't keep making excuses for everything. It can't be like damsel in distress. Oh my God, slavery and this. Like I get a lot of that have a down trickle effect. And I'm not saying that it didn't, but I do agree that like to a certain extent there are some things. It's like, all right, you can't just keep blaming white people for everything. Like especially when like that money exists in our community.
And I know I named a lot of entertainers. Entertainers mostly have that money, but there's also black business people, entrepreneurs, real estate people that have that money. They do. We just won't see them. It's not celebrated to have a black real estate agent that has 20 properties. Nobody cares. It's not swaggy.
And that's the sad part. Like I think what our community suffers or lacks in is making. And like you shouldn't even have to make things look cool, honestly. But maybe that's the thing. Maybe we need to make those things look cool and put our swag on it so people will open their eyes to it.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's kind of happening in some ways. Like, you got people buying land It's not flashy. It's not a Lambo. It's not a Birkin. But it's like people are like, okay, that's dope. They're buying land. Like,
But even within that, obviously ownership is definitely important. But even within that, we got to keep going, delving even deeper, and making sure that like you're buying those things with a purpose. Because
yeah,
buying,
don't just buy land. Like, buy. You had to look. You had to look at like the appreciation over the years.
can you farm the land? What type of soil is in the land? Can you build on
Can
it?
you build? Yeah.
Is
Because what are you gonna do with that land? You're just gonna say, I got land.
is it going to flood? Do you plan on developing houses? There's so many different things that we can do, and there's so many different things that people do. Like I said, in my family, I just randomly at the funeral, he's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna go build 200 houses or whatever the number was. It was like 50 or something. I'm gonna go buy this plot of land and just build the houses."
Yeah. And
But nobody knows him. I know who he is.
the good thing
obviously,
is a lot
family.
of people out there do exist like that. That's good. But like you said, it's not
People won't see it.
romanticized. Yeah. And like the people that we do see, I think a lot of these celebrities, a lot of them are very educated and they talk to the right people, you know. But a lot of them aren't. Like a lot of them kind of are just have their foot in the door because I feel like white people are not just gonna willingly give that information to even people who have money unless it's benefiting them. Like I said, people buying land. These celebrities are just rich people buying land, and it's like. But I feel like they just got a foot in. Because there's so much stuff to do with their money. And we don't know what their investment portfolios look like. So I don't want to speak on people who I don't know or what their private information looks like. I'm sure a lot of them are smart and got financial investors. Advisors and investors that are helping them. I'm sure they do. But a lot of them, I still don't think they necessarily know what they're doing.
One thing that's important too is to become your own financial advisor.
Yeah.
Because you don't need one. If you know,
You don't.
if you know what works and what doesn't, then that's all you need.
All you gotta do is read.
Because
and watch some YouTube videos. Honestly.
Because even within that, you don't know what people's, what's the right word for it? You don't know what people's involvement is in other areas. Like one entertainer, music, rapper person, I don't know who it was, spoke on it. They were like, they went to a music lawyer, said, review my contracts and let me know if it's a good deal. Didn't know that the music lawyer is friends with the people that wrote the contract. So like, even you going to go get help from other people,
You
it's
still
better.
kind of want to protect yourself.
It's just better to know. It's better to like obviously people hire lawyers because they don't know law. In an ideal situation, you would know law and be able to.
And the thing, you don't even need to know extensive law. You just need to know contracts.
Yeah.
Like contracts law, right?
Yeah.
Like you really wouldn't need to know anything. It's not like you don't need no criminal law to review your own music contract. You just need to really study contracts. But no one's really doing that. You might get imagine you get a hit song and next day labels want to meet with you. You don't got time to learn that quick. So it's like, what do you think you would do in those situations?
I think that's tough, but that's why I was having that conversation where it would be a beautiful thing if I was in a position where I could get people, because I'm not a financial advisor, so I don't have any of my series exams. I don't have any of those things. I'm not able to, provide financial advice or anything like that. Yeah, legally, of course. But if I was to do so, I feel like it would be a great place. Because, that's what happens with lawyers. There's celebrity lawyers, basically, where they represent just high-end clients.
Yeah.
Having that on the financial advisor side, I'm sure that exists, but I haven't heard it. And I think that having a trustworthy source, somebody that knows what they're talking about, and also is not like, I wouldn't have any ties in the industry. Like there would be no benefit to me to slight anyone that I deal with.
And that's why, like, just in general, like in the workforce, there's like a thing where it's called independence. Like with public accounting, and like accounting in general, you have to have independence. Like there can't be any relations. You can't even have personal relationships lots of times in these companies. But like when you hire like lawyers, or when you hire accountants, when you hire any like firm that do something for you, there has to be like an independence thing. Like there can be no ties. You guys can't have. That's why I can't even do certain stuff. That's why I can't invest in Vanguard, being at Prudential, because there's a financial ties to Vanguard. Like Prudential owns mad percentage of Vanguard. Like
other way around.
I mean, sorry. Vanguard owns a lot of shares of Prudential. So there's a financial
conflict of interest.
Conflict of interest, yeah. So I can't. That's why I was a good thing I looked that up. I think you the one who told me. I would have got fired. I'm sure. I don't think I would have got fired, but I could have.
You could have.
Because you're supposed that you have that duty to read through that paperwork when you get hired.
Because you're in accounting, and which is
Yeah, that's really closely tied to the numbers.
Yeah.
And I probably have access on my drive to some of that information. I would have been fired. So that's why I
Yeah.
use Fidelity.
I would love
But yeah,
to be that person
yeah.
to give some real advice. Not and I don't
And
want
give
to
it
just
in layman's terms, like, and give it almost like cool, like, we cool. I'm cool. I'm
yeah, because
black. I'm into the culture. I know everything, but I'm not giving you that white old man, like when they talk very like that. What's the word? Jargon.
yeah,
And they be doing that on purpose sometimes. You know they do.
of course, because then that allows. But that's why those people have vested interest in certain things. That's why it's like that's what I was saying. Even with the government and how I was complaining about how they're able to trade these companies and own stocks and shares of them, and they're putting in laws that saying like, okay, everybody has to get vaccinated now, and all these people own Moderna and Pfizer stock. I'm like, that's insane. Like, you shouldn't be able to do that. And that's how a lot of these industry people are. It's like he's an entertainment lawyer, probably because he was in like entertainment at one point, like working for the people that he's kind of like representing against, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like that's why he knows what those contracts mean, because he was on the other side at one point and still has those ties. So,
Yeah. And that's why it's cool. Yeah. That's why like that could be kind of iffy. But people want to know that. People sometimes don't do their research too before they hire people. Same way these people don't be doing their research when they go those surgeries and they're shocked that they are botched.
like we were talking about too. We were talking about people saying, "Oh, I got an accountant."
Yeah. No, you don't.
Like that's one of those other things that people
I
find
hate
swaggy.
that. Yeah.
I got an accountant.
No, you don't. And I hate. I Twitter where I hate when it's like regular people that say that. Like, how you gonna be on Twitter talking about you got an accountant while you know an accountant follows you? I'm not a certified accountant, but I'm still an accountant because my role is accountant. But
like, no, you just went to H&R Block.
Yeah, no, that's probably a financial advisor, possibly.
TurboTax.
Yeah, but they be like, my accountant's mad at me. I ran up too much money.
I promise your accountant doesn't care.
Yeah, that's the thing. I'm like, from a accounting perspective, we don't care
because you don't make
what you spend. Because we just look at your books. We just look.
Yeah, you don't make commission off of how much money your client is worth.
Yeah, like, ooh, they bullying him. Like, I get from like a celebrity standpoint. Lots of times, your financial advisor might be mad at how much you're spending, or your accountant might get mad too if you have businesses, or if you own businesses, or you run multiple money, like they might get mad about spending or something, or like maybe like for tax reasons, if they might not agree necessarily with what you're doing, but they're not gonna be mad. What are they gonna be mad for?
I think
they get paid regardless.
Yeah, the only thing is if maybe you just don't have any money to be advised on anymore.
Yeah.
But other than that, they don't care. They're not getting a commission. That's more so for like investment, like asset managers. Asset managers would care because they usually get a 1% commission on the total value of your assets every year. So if you're making stupid decisions and you're dropping your assets, but they're the asset manager, so they really still control your stuff. But if you're saying you want to do this, they kind of have to do it because it's your money.
Yeah, I think people honestly really don't know the difference between a lot of these things. They don't. Like, people really throw accountants and everything. I'm like, do you guys even know what accountants do? Like, do you even know what we do in accounting?
Count the money is what people think.
They think,
you hear accounting, so account.
Like, no.
Count the money.
Lots of times, it's a flag. Lots of times, I'm sorry, I'm distracted. When people have like accountants, or they say that they work with accountants, like I was saying the other day, it's like usually if you have businesses or you have reasoning for somebody to need to review, like the books, they need to review your money, the cash flow. They need to see, stuff like that. Like maybe they need to calculate like your debt to equity ratio, stuff like that. But for the most part, most people have advisors, financial advisors. They have people advising them what to do, what decisions to make. That's not an accountant. No. So that annoys me, especially when it's people that like are our age. You don't have an accountant. Stop. Like, not even our age, but just regular. Like regular everyday Americans. Everyday average person doesn't have an accountant. Why would you? You might have a financial advisor. You might go to somebody who advised you what to do with your money, but you don't. That's not an accountant. People are just so uneducated, and they just want to. They like everybody just wants to sound so heavy. Like, I hate this obsession with wanting to sound so like you doing something. Ooh, did they just hit him in the head?
Yeah, he just got kicked in the head.
Yeah.
No.
Oh yeah, we didn't even go. Boy, we got deep. We was talking about Lil Baby.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because we was talking about rapper baby mama culture and how they're not celebrities. But yeah, I was saying all that to say, like, the main thing I was saying is, first of all, those girls are dumb. Like, have some respect for yourself. Like, stop going back to these guys. Like if you're gonna, like, that's why people got to get off the internet. Because if you're gonna go online and bash the man, say all the stuff, how you have respect for yourself, how you're done, this, that, just to go back when you know you're not completely done. Ooh, it barely made it. Get off the internet. Like, it's just so, it's just, you look stupid. And that's another bad thing for having little girls look up to you for that, you know? Like, now they look up to you as a girl. And I get they didn't sign up for that. And, like, as a parent, it's your job, really, to guide your kids and be examples for them. Like, these shouldn't be your kids' examples in the first place. And these these influencers didn't sign up to be a parent of other kids. But, you know, that's just like the downside of that being what kids look up to, is now you got these rap baby mamas who are not only unintelligent, who say stupid things. Now they're going back to men that cheated on them. So now as a little girl, you think that's okay? Like, it's just crazy. But I say all that to say, people. It was like two people. Well, it was really only one person. One person called me and picked me on Twitter. And some girl liked it, and she was a Delta, by the way. I'm like, well, of course a Delta will like a tweet against me. But it was gonna be a big me because somebody made a tweet saying how girls need to stop belittling their boyfriends because, you know, posting stuff in her Instagram story, like reposting a Little Baby or a Jayda post of her, like, you know, all this, getting all of her designer bags and saying, I wish, or maybe one day. So the girl was saying, like, in the tweet was saying, stop belittling your boyfriend by posting that type of stuff in your story. Because she's like, you both about to go clock in. Like, be humble. So that's, and I just quoted him, like, exactly. Like, I was just like, humble yourself. Like, how you want all that, but you work at a call center. Relax. Like, no offense to anybody who works at call centers, but it's just like, you can't be working there expecting a certain lifestyle because you don't even expect that for yourself, clearly. You even work for the lifestyle you want, but you want someone else to provide that for you. And now you're going to belittle your boyfriend who probably works at the call center right next to you.
Should I get in my anti-women campaign?
No. Because I already do a good job at that.
No, I want to.
No, but I was saying, like, that's all I said. And some girls like, pick-me's are crazy. Like, you pick-me's are out of your mind. I'm like, how am I pick-me? By saying that a broke woman shouldn't expect their broke man to go out buy them Birkins.
How are you also a pick-me if you're, you know, either married or in a relationship? Like, what does that mean?
I'm like,
what does that mean?
I'm like, how am I pick-me? I made that tweet. I was like, I'm a pick-me. But I need to pull the actual tweet because I be killing these daddies. I be killing these girls on the internet with my tweets because I'm funny. I was like, let me see. That wasn't that long ago. I was like, okay, here we go. We close. Okay. I said, okay, I found it.
First of all, you need to
It's
get off
always
Twitter.
funny when people call me a pick-me. Like, damn, me and my man both having great careers with high salaries, being a power couple who been on every type of date, who travel, living our best lives, and him treating me like a queen makes me a pick-me. It's like, damn, my life sucks. My life sucks. I'm such a pick-me in a 7-year relationship that been every date that you guys put on your timeline saying, oh, I wish. Yeah, I don't have to wish because I did every single date. We repeated them. I travel. I'm treated respectfully. You treat me respectfully. You pay for all my food all the time. You literally, like, always buying me stuff. But I'm a pick-me. Ooh, if this is what pick-me life is, pretty good on this side. Like, I don't get that either. Like, I mean, these people don't know me, but look at my pinned tweet. It's us on a cliffside restaurant in the islands. Like, so like it's one of those things. Like people learn gaslight, people learn narcissist, people learn pick me, and they just throw that out there. And I was just like, how am I pick me? All I said was facts. You work at a call center. Be humble. And she said, you would pick me. And I said, I'm going to pick me for saying that a broke woman shouldn't expect their equally broke boyfriend to buy them Birkins. Because people were trying to be so, like, obtuse, thinking that all of the baby did was put rose petal down. We're not talking about the rose petals. Like, that's not what we're talking about. We're making it a point that every time he does something, you guys go crazy and belittle your boyfriend. We're not literally talking about rose petals. Yeah, anybody could do that. You don't have to be rich to do that. Duh, no one said that. We just said that's not belittling your boyfriend wanting little baby treatment. And that's why I said,
no,
all these girls want little baby treatment, but you guys are not Jaydas.
No, but even with
you girls are not Jaydas.
Even with the rose petals thing, obviously rose petals aren't expensive. But what makes you think that you're even worthy of that?
Exactly.
Let's really have a conversation because I'll get in my toxic bag. I'm gonna turn this podcast.
No, here before you get into that real quick, let me just end on this. No. That's why I was saying how these girls aren't Jaydas. By that I mean not looks. Jayda is self-made, been popping for a long time, got businesses, she's successful, she got her own money, she could buy herself these Birkins, she could pay for these trips, she could buy for the stuff that she gets from Lil Baby and that she wants. Yeah, she's kind of done for taking the cheater back, but besides that, she can allegedly, she could still do those things on her own. You guys can't. So you guys want a Lil Baby and you're not a Jayda. So stop and get off Twitter and get out of my mentions. Don't even got a profile picture. Like, girls always want to come at me like, oh, self-esteem, you pick me this. Self-esteem, you talking to me through a fake profile. Like, what you mean? You can't even show your face. You got 5 pictures and archive all your whole Instagram because you insecure about how you looked 5 years ago. I got pictures from 2013 on there, 2012. My self-esteem is very high. That's why I don't delete anything. I don't care. I just can't. People always want to try to come for me. And don't even got a profile picture. Your profile picture is a cartoon character, and you talk about my self-esteem. Get out of here. So, like, I can't. Now you get into your bag, because I hate women, too.
No,
women are stupid. No, women are stupid. You guys are stupid. I support women, but a lot of you guys are stupid and don't deserve nothing, because you're not that. You're not all that. You're regular. There's 7 billion of us humans out there. More than half are women, so it's like 4 billion of us are probably out there. You're regular. You're not special. You're not important. I'm sorry. You're not. I'm not special. I'm not important either. None of us are. Like, so yeah, you get into your bag.
I don't even know.
That's kind of what we were talking about earlier today too. Is this whole mindset that you're so like irreplaceable. And music gets that in people's heads too. Like, you got Beyonce talking about irreplaceable. These girls really be thinking they saying something. And I get there are people out in this world who are good girlfriends that men have definitely fumbled. As a man, you probably get
and vice versa.
I get that. So there definitely are like people out there who are worthy of those things. And that's why they get those things. And there's definitely people that got fumbled for sure. And they probably see it because they get begged back. I'm so sorry. You were so special. Blah, 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 blah. But most of you guys aren't that. And you need to accept that. And stop acting like you're something. You know what I mean? And that's why I made that tweet, because like, you work at a call center. Like, if you was really out here, you would have your own life lit for yourself. Like, that's why girls that want their bills paid but actually got money, I don't mind them. I don't, because you got money and you just want that out of a man. Sure, you could pay for your own. I don't mind those girls. I mind the girls who are bums, who don't got no money and want that. And how you calling another man broke and you broke? Like, that doesn't make no sense. Like, I just can't. But like I said, let me end that on stop wanting little babies if you're not a Jayda. Stop wanting Jay-Z's and you're not a Beyonce. Like, I don't even know any other good examples, because there's not a lot of couples out there. Stop wanting a LeBron and you're not a Savannah. Go clock in at the call center and leave me and get out of my mention. Cause clearly she must work at a call center. Cause clearly I hurt some feelings with that tweet. Right? She must work at. People probably think I'm mean. I'm really not mean. I just sometimes you gotta humble people.
Until you get humbled.
Yeah, but how am I gonna get humbled? I'm not gonna get humbled.
See, even that right there,
I'm joking.
You need to be.
Wait, no, but no, for like that was just like sometimes the truth hurts. You can't say I want a man who pays all the bills.
You know why?
And buys me Birkins. You work at a call center.
It's
Like
not that
that's
I
just
don't.
the
It's not
truth.
that I don't.
I can't say that working at where I work. I can't say I want a man with a Birkin and I don't even make six figures. I'm talking about myself too. But it's just like I just had to use that as an extreme example because that's like, no offense, but that's kind of like really like bottom of the barrel type jobs. No offense to people who do that, but it really is. Like you're not. You don't even need a degree to do that. So. You just graduate high school and get a job in a call center. So like that's just an extreme example, but I can't expect that. What I do, I can't buy myself no Birkin. So why would I want a man to do that? I'm not gonna belittle you and be like, oh, my man don't do that for me. Because why would I expect you to do that for me and I can't do that for myself? I would never do that. But girls literally will substitute their own boyfriends. Like, but I'm not making no money either. So that's what I got an issue with. So the call center example is extreme, but sometimes you got to use an example like that to really put the nail in. You know what I mean? But I can't do that either. I could have made that same tweet talking about myself, but it wouldn't have hit the same. Because financial reporting is still a good job, and I'm still making good money. So you need to use an extreme example of people who aren't making money. That's like a $20,000 a year job in a call center, if that. So I'm humble, but I just had to use an extreme example. Because that's a lot of people. This is my same thing I always say. The stats don't lie. We know what people are making out here. Because the stats say what is going on in our age group. We've seen it with our own eyes. People who even got degrees that still work at like, I don't want to use a specific example, but still working at like jobs, like regular jobs that we were working in college still, you know? We see it. So, of course, I'm very grateful for my life. And I know that it could all come crashing down. But I'm still gonna be good because I've set myself up to be good. I have money I don't have to work for a year. I have enough money saved where I literally don't have to work for a year. Like I'm good. You know what I mean? But I don't know. From a male's perspective, what's your gripe with women? Because you haven't been like in a lot of relationships. You just kind of have me for a lot of your reference in your adult life. But what do you see from your perspective? I know you kind of don't.
You don't need to be in a relationship to know about women.
You're right. Because you see enough online, right?
Well, I still speak to women.
Yeah, of course, yeah. And like women friends, you still have that crazy perspective.
Women, family members that still have a conversation with women.
Yeah.
So first and foremost, I hate everybody. Like legitimately, I don't like anybody. I don't like family. I don't like friends. I don't like anybody.
You don't like family?
I don't like myself. I don't like anything or anybody.
Baby.
So that's first and foremost. But there's a hierarchy to who I like the least. I just think that like from a male's perspective, there really isn't a ton. So like. Because women don't get a ton of insight into male thought and in-depth male thought. Because women, for whatever reason, think that all men are just like these like
robots,
horny toads that just want women for physical stuff and that they don't actually have feelings and, you know, that real things don't actually exist in a male's mind. But, you know, the male suicide rate will clearly tell you versus the women's.
And remember we talked about the early death rate.
Yeah.
Men dying earlier than women.
Yeah. Like,
dang, was that a touchdown?
There's a reason for that. Don't interrupt me in the middle of this.
I'm sorry.
You worried about the Chiefs? You worried about a Mahomes touchdown?
I should be rooting for the Bills as a New Yorker.
Yeah, man, we want the Bills to win. But
I don't know. They celebrating that, and then the points aren't moving.
Yeah, it was. The ref called it a touchdown.
Oh, okay.
But so women don't get a ton of in-depth perspective outside of what some like probably horny 14-year-old is saying on Twitter or TikTok. But the thing is, men are usually miserable in relationships or marriages because the kicker is horrible.
It didn't go through?
No.
Dang.
They're usually men are usually, let me not say usually, that's projecting. And that's not even really projecting because I don't feel that way. That's like kind of like universalizing thought. I don't know what the right term is. But a lot of men are really miserable in relationships because what is there for a man to really get out of it besides being a paycheck? Not a lot.
For a lot of men, it's not. And that's actually really sad.
Because there's
no conversation. There's no understanding how he feels. what he's going through. A lot of that's not happening.
Like we were having a conversation earlier. A man goes to work in some really strenuous jobs too. Most of the time, usually it could be either be a physical job, it could just be a I got to work 2 jobs type thing, whatever it is, whatever the circumstances. And you get shitted on at work, and you come home, you get shitted on at home, and you get shitted on by your kids, and then your whole life is just basically miserable. But the one thing that's always going to be true is that money is going to be coming out your check to go towards whatever it is. Usually,
And
it's
that perspective is crazy.
and usually it's the wife or whatever. They're gonna get your money. The kids need this. You're gonna end up paying for it. Like there's really no benefit for men in relationships. I think that a lot of men kind of just get into relationships and get married just because you're supposed to, but there's really no.
And that maybe that mindset of continuing the line, the family line. Like you need to have kids to continue that. So you need to get a wife or a woman pregnant.
Yeah,
to do so.
But even in that, there's so many men that I've heard and spoken to, and they said that they still never wanted kids. The only reason why they did it is because they knew that they couldn't be with the woman if they didn't have kids because the woman wanted kids. So it's like you can't.
And the mom pressure. Usually that pressure comes from your mom mostly.
So men are usually really miserable.
That's actually a really sad perspective.
Like you saw, like we were in a we were even in Short Hills, and the guy. The woman was trying to she was like trying to justify the expensive bag or jacket or something like that, and he was just like, "What are you saying? What are you talking about? Like, look what your mind is on." And it's just kind of like that's just like a male's existence. So my gripe with women, a lot of times, is it has a lot to do with the materialism part that's like superficial and really doesn't have any like value to your quality of life. Like you don't have an increased quality of life from clothing or like expensive hair or whatever it is that women typically buy. Like your life is not going to be better because of those things. And, if you're into it, you're into it, but pay for it yourself then. Like there's no, your kids aren't going to live a better life because you paid $700 for hair. Like there's no benefit to it, but you can't then complain about somebody not paying for it for you when there's no benefit to anyone. Like if anything, you're taking food out your kid's mouth because you want to put somebody else's hair on your head.
That's what you saw what Fabio said.
No.
He did that money challenge. And he said men or something about like he hates child support. Mm-hmm. You saw that one, right? He said, how everybody's doing that money thing now, like laying out the money to say words. He said, I hate child support. And then his caption was, good fathers shouldn't have to pay child support. Because he basically, I'm in my child's life already. Like, why am I paying money monthly when I'm in his life? Like, I'm providing for him. Like, when I see him, I'm paying for him to eat. I'm paying for his clothes. I'm taking him shopping. So why do I, on top of that, I got to pay you money just because we're not together?
Yeah.
Crazy. I didn't even think about it that way. What value are you getting if the kid's being taken care of when he's at his dad's house? Why am I still sending you whatever amount a month? And the amount is probably high. But no offense. Wait, what just happened? No offense, but as a man, this game is crazy. As a man, though, like you can't say that because at the same time, wrap it up. Like, you shouldn't have got the girl pregnant. Then. So
the girl should have never. We even in that we gotta no.
The girl has to be responsible.
Yeah, we gotta stop doing that.
No, but then nobody could complain. He can't complain about the child support, and she can't complain about a deadbeat dad because both you guys should have wrapped it up.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm saying, but he still can't complain either. Like you should never got her pregnant. Like you,
and
it's always warned. Like you guys get famous, don't just get these girls pregnant because they're gonna take your money. That's always a thing. That's always a thing. Like that's what even kind of said. The gold digger. He made a whole song on it. So, I get it because you're still a good father and you probably didn't know the relationship was going to end, possibly. You still, in your mind, was going to raise this kid together. But people always say, be mindful, stop laying up with these people and having kids. You're not married, no commitment. Even though I don't mean nothing either, but still. But I get it. I get what you're saying. I get what he's saying, too. So I'm not downplaying that at all. I'm just adding that. But, yeah, that perspective is sad though. Men be going through it, and like I get like women. Obviously, we go through a lot too. Like we're the ones that have to hold a child for 9 months. Like we have to give birth. Like we could die just to give a man a child. So I just feel like obviously there should just be respect on both sides. But I do get from your perspective and like from a lot of men's perspective is that what do they still get out of it? Like a woman will go through all that, but they're still getting that financial security in some ways from the man, legally too, because sometimes you have to when you go to court, like you have to.
All the time you have to.
But as a man, you're not like, what are you getting? If you don't have a good partner, what are you getting? Like, could women could be like, well, what am I getting? Money. Well, my man's broke. But if you guys go to court, the man still has to pay for it, even if it's broke. He still has to pay for child support, right? They still just do a percentage of what his pay.
You have to pay child support no matter what.
Yeah.
Like if you're not together, you have to pay child support no matter what.
If that's the terms of your separation agreement.
No, but if you're not together at all, like if you never got married, you have to pay child support regardless. It doesn't matter whether you got.
But you still have to take it to court though for it to be on paper.
Yeah, but
So
you're still.
But the woman's usually going to do it.
No, it's guaranteed. There's no. First of all, there's no way a woman's not going to do that, and also there's no way that the judge is going to deny that. The question is divorce.
Yeah, but I'm saying like you wouldn't even have to bring that to the court's attention if you guys agree that you don't want to do that.
But what woman is not going to do that?
That's what I'm saying. Most likely won't happen, but it could in some cases. You never know what the separation is like. I'm sure there's couples out there that the dad's not paying, especially if you don't even know that. That's a whole different situation. But
yeah, I just question what the point is.
Not really what the point is, but it's just if you don't. That's why I always feel like so many people lack and miss out on like that foundational friendship and relationships. And I feel like we had told us this before. I feel like a lot of people out there like settle for who they marry. And I feel like once you actually have that foundation, I feel like nothing could go wrong. I feel like if you guys are cool and you guys are go talk through everything and actually like each other, actually love each other, I honestly don't think nothing can go wrong. I think you can get through everything. Like, honestly. And I just think a lot of people lack that. They don't even like each other. They're just doing things that they have to. Like, and I think a lot of people, they lose their true love in their life, whether it be petty to break up, whether it be, they just broke up and they realize later on that it was a dumb breakup, or sometimes it happens to, the worst case scenario, death. And I just figure I don't know, like, I feel like that's a lot. Like, whenever I see couples that were together for so long and then they break up and then the next thing, the person finds someone else and they're married after like a week, I'm like, either that first relationship was holding them down, or that person kind of just literally moved on quick and they settled. And then they realized, dang, that was my soulmate. And like, I should have kept working for it. I think most people settle. And that's where that whole lot of mindset comes from, that like, what am I getting out of this? Like I'm miserable. And I just think too many relationships are transactional. Like, for a lot of people, it's a transaction. For a lot of people, it's a business move to get married. It's a financial move. And I feel like if you truly love each other, that's why I always talk about this because we deal with it. Like, the whole pressure of marriage thing is so weird to me, because it's like, what changes? If we love each other, we love each other. Like, what? Like, why does it matter what age we make that? We're just signing a contract. We're just basically signing a business deal. When we get married, like, that doesn't change anything. We still love each other, and the relationship's still what it is. But I think so many people get such a benefit out of being married, especially financially, that they feel like that's like, you have to do it. You need to get married. Like, you need to protect them. Like, this is so weird. You need those tax breaks. You need this and you need that. Like, I don't know. People, like I said, a lot of relationships are transactional, and a lot of relationships are based around pressure, societal pressures, parental pressures, And I feel like a lot that we're all that combination of stuff equals a lot of unhappy people. And then we have a lot of unhappy people. We have what you talk about, men that get bashed in every aspect of life, and then they get bashed at home, and that's why they're miserable. That's why they die sooner.
Yeah, all that stuff.
Yeah, it's very sad.
Actually, my main gripe with women is really just the materialism thing. Because I made that argument to you before, where it's funny, like, and you don't agree with me, and it's fine. Or at least I think you don't agree with me. But guys would literally live in a cardboard box if if it meant that they would be happy.
Yeah. If it meant for that happens, yeah.
Whereas I feel like women have that same thing. They could never.
Some women.
No.
Not all women are the same.
Yes.
No, cause not like the same way I hate when I defend men when girls try to make men seem all the same. So you gotta defend women too, and we're not all the same.
No, don't defend men.
No, but not all men are the same. Not all women are the same. There are a lot of characteristics that are definitely common among a lot of them, but it's just your scope.
No, I would
There's
say
a
the
lot of
majority.
unmaterialistic women out there that really don't care. That literally live very modest lives. That live literally in the woods and stuff. And
You can't say a lot.
the reason why there's probably not more is because women are fearful of men and like rape and all that.
You can't say it's a lot of them.
I don't think that many women are materialistic though. Like I know a lot of people who literally don't buy nothing. They make a lot more than me and don't buy nothing. Literally wear like the same outfits.
Materialism doesn't mean clothes specifically. Materialism could be anything.
No, but materialism has the material items.
Yes, meaning physical items. That could be in anything.
I still don't think women are more materialistic though.
You don't think women are more materialistic?
Cause men like
Well,
cars, babe. Men like nice cars more than women do. Men are the type to really buy nice cars. Men are the type to have the
so are
best gaming
women.
system. Yeah, that's why I don't think one is over the other. I think it just appears because women are more flashy with it. Men will spend thousands on a gaming system and their
So are
gaming
women.
chair. No, but women just spend that money in a different way. They might not spend it on gaming, but they're spending it on a bag.
No, they'll spend it on gaming equipment too.
Okay, and girls will buy bags, men will buy cars. There's an equal part to everything. Girls buy cars too. I still don't think girls are more materialistic. Women
Women are
buy
definitely.
jewelry, men buy jewelry. They buy watches, they buy chains, they buy earrings.
Nah.
Yeah, I think this is more things that women buy that you think that's why you
No,
think that.
because you can even look at the data. Literally, we can go look at the retail data. There's no debating data. You could literally go at what is the number, 80% or something like that of.
Like I said, I don't think we're more materialistic. I think there's more things to buy. If that makes sense. Like
That's more materialistic. Than.
no, like girls have hair, makeup, jewelry, accessories,
I'll get the stats for
bags,
you.
clothes,
Oh wait,
shoes.
I have it right here. Women account for 85% of all consumer buying decisions, contributing to an astounding $15 trillion to the economy. Hold more than 60% of all personal wealth. Yeah, women control over 31 trillion. Da, da, da. Women spend more on groceries, but men spend more on average for lunch.
Interesting.
Women spend 76% more than men per year on clothes, but men spend almost twice as much on women as women on vehicle purchases. Women on average, men on average only spend $206 on pets, but women spend $488. What else? Da, 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 da. What else? Yeah, there's a bunch of stats there, but that 85% number is not like made up.
Well, yeah, I just think like there's.
Statistically women make less than men
So that's
as
your
well.
main issue
As well.
because women are more materialistic.
How in the hell are you complaining about women's representation in jobs and things like that, but you're still accounting for 85% of the spending in the country? That
And
might
you
be the
don't need to
world.
spend that money. And it's like if you want to spend that money, then you shouldn't make that money yourself too. You shouldn't rely on men to provide that for you, and then get mad when they can't. And now you're calling them broke. It's very weird.
Yeah, that's where my confusion lies.
Yeah, because how are you gonna be materialistic? You want to go get your nails done every 2 weeks, get a new wig installed like every week, go to the spa once a month, get your eyebrows done, get your lashes done every 2 weeks, go on trips, buy bags, buy jewelry, buy makeup, have a new set of brushes, all that stuff. That you want to do all that, but you can't afford to do that. And then your next thing is, okay, well, how could I really afford to do that? Men, my boyfriend, he should be paying all the bills. So all the bill money I could have could go towards that. And that's just crazy to me. That is crazy. So
Now,
I agree.
This is data coming from a bunch of different places. I had to make sure because I could just be spewing out. You have to do fact checking on your own, but just for the sake of not wasting an hour of verifying information, It says men spent on average $35K a year, while women spent $33. Although it's important to note that the men earned roughly $10,000 more per year than the women.
Wow.
Men spend more on alcohol. Men spend more on food. But women,
I'm not shocked by that.
women spend more on doctor's appointments, pay on average $714 a year on self-care, while men spend closer to $297. What else? Men are found to be most likely to view saving. Yeah, whatever. Oh, okay, hold up. Men set aside nearly twice as much money for their long-term financial goals as women. American women nearing retirement age have an average of $81,000 in retirement funds, while their male counterparts have $118,000. What else? Even though women are more likely to participate in workplace retirement plans.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Men have more of an interest in investing. 70% of millennial men enjoy managing their investments compared to just 36% of women. What else? This is pretty interesting data. But yeah, so that's my perspective. I think if you're gonna be a spender, make the money. You don't have to. Money is not gender specific. So
yeah.
That's just.
And I get there's pay gaps, but I mean times are changing. I will say.
Well, based on this, women make more than men, on average.
Wow.
On average, because there's less women in the workforce, but the women that are in the workforce tend to make more money than
the men.
Because men do jobs that women would never do.
Yeah.
So. And jobs that would barely pay anything.
Yeah.
I'm not misogynistic. I'm not sexist. But it is,
I mean, there's hypocrisy.
There has to be some realism.
Yeah, and there has to be some accountability. Like, that's why I don't want to make it seem like I'm some pick me too like that. Like, I always say, you literally saying this every episode. But it's because, like, it just seems extreme coming from me because it's so extreme on the other end on social media. It's so extreme. Like, the reviews that so many women have are very extreme. And it's just annoying. And I see more of that than I see the other side of it. So, of course, that's why, if I see more the negative, then my reaction seems more negative and more extreme. But I just think there should be accountability on both sides. There should be accountability. There should be, like, people stop trying to use people. Like, we're all humans and we're all, like, have feelings and emotions. Like, I don't get why people don't want true love. Like, they want money. It's just, like, you guys are missing out. It's just crazy. That's all people care about. And I get you have to care about it in this world, I do, but it's just like, get a grip, because you're not no boss yourself. But you want a boss.
Yeah, I'm trying to find a very specific video that kind of like summarizes it. Let me see.
I'm trying to find Euphoria for free right now. Comes on in 5 minutes. Should we just get HBO Max? Can you pay for it?
No. I wish I could find this very specific video. But basically he was just saying, like, I think it's like 99% or 95% of bricklayers in the world, either the world or the country, are men.
Yeah.
But why don't men fight, or why don't women fight for equality in that space? Or like just any of the certain other spaces? Women are more than capable of laying bricks.
True.
So basically what I'm trying to get at, long story short, and I'm sure, what the thing is, when you state your opinion, people immediately tune out anything else that you say. Mm-hmm. So I've already lost.
Especially women.
Yeah, I've already lost the audience, and I'm misogynistic. I know, whatever. All I'm saying is equity is important. Because whatever it is, because women could be the breadwinner.
Yeah.
Anybody could be in any situation. For me, I feel like there shouldn't be a one-way street with anything in a relationship. And everything can't be 50-50. You spend $100 on something, there has to be an equal divide, like the water bill or whatever it is. We bought the Ritz crackers today, so we got to divide the $4 for the box of crackers.
My parents do that. Like, one time I was on the phone with my mom and they were getting, like, Thai food or something. I don't know. And my dad was like, "Oh, I sent you money, right?" And my mom was like, "Yeah." And he was like, "How much was it again?" And she was like, "It was like 10 something." I'm like, well, "Why you guys sending each other $10? Like, come on, you got somebody just can't cover dinner for the night."
Yeah, basically all I'm trying to get at is there just needs to be equity in whatever that is, because everything isn't always monetary. It doesn't mean for you to buy your girl XYZ that she needs to even make XYZ necessarily, but things need to be equal. It can't be you had a mutual decision to have a child, the woman has a child, and now you're forever in debt for the next 80 years, and she could get whatever she wants off, and you just have to accept it. Like, that's not equitable, because then what's the point then? Like, why am I gonna have a kid with you if now I'm basically enslaved it's enslaved you, especially if you're not even getting anything out of it, whether it's financially, emotionally, or anything. Like, there's no benefit then. It's like you're just gonna be in misery, and that's why, people cheat. Not that I'm justifying it, but people cheat, or people are miserable because it's like, you're getting literally nothing. You're just a paycheck. You just go to work and
that's why, like you said, people cheat, because then they meet somebody who actually loves them, and who provides them like the things that basic humans need, like basic needs, like caring, asking how their day was, seeing how they actually feel.
Literally, I have coworkers that live, because I work in New York, and I have coworkers that live in Jersey. I'm thinking of one person specifically. I'm sure he's so miserable being home, or like even some of them that live in New York, but depending on where you live in New York, even that could be a long commute. They'll go to work even though we don't have to go into the office. They'll literally go to work, and I know that specifically to get away from the life that they're living.
And I think that's why a lot of people like miss like the divorce. I'm sure divorces went up during COVID, because
divorces and babies went up.
Yeah, because people, and I think that was the thing they said, people realize how much they actually don't like their partners with COVID. I mean, that's sad that it took you like this time to realize. So you have to spend that time with them.
Yeah, where in real life, what used to be real life was you never had there was never a point where you could have that sort of time, because you had to be at work for X amount of time.
And you come home, you spend 2 hours cooking, and you might be at the gym.
Yeah, so
and then you spend another 3 hours, eating. That might be the only conversation you have a day. Now you're just like, all right, time to go to bed.
And that's it. So when you have all this extra time with a person, it will expose you to a lot of different things.
Yeah.
That's basically all I was saying. I'm not trying to be misogynistic. It's not about money. Money doesn't really, equate to everything that's needed in life. Being a good person is really all that you need. But if you're not even getting that, you're just getting what can you buy me, or
and
what
people
can you do
that's
for
such
me?
a bizarre thing to say. Like, we're not human beings that need that. Like, that's actually a literal need. Dogs, like this, we see with animals. Like, animals need companions, and they get that from their pack. They get that from dogs. Get it from us. You need that. You need quality time. You need companionship. And then people, like you said, people wonder why they got cheated on. Oh, well, maybe because you shit on your man all day, 24/7, about him being broken, this and that and that.
Maybe even talk about his PTSD or whatever. Like, people be going through stuff.
Yeah.
Like, it's not just women that,
that go through stuff.
Start crying and put the phone in the face so they can post it on TikTok. Men go through
stuff. And it might not be certain stuff. Yeah, like certain things, women definitely probably get assaulted more. I think that's the obvious thing. But it's not like there are men that don't get assaulted too. That might be carrying that trauma around.
And not just sexually assaulted, but just assaulted in general.
Yeah.
People get beat up. We were just talking about stuff earlier about fighting and things like that. Things happen. People deal with like a lot of different things.
Yeah.
A lot of traumatic things. Family deaths.
Yeah. A lot of these black kids, they got deaths of their friends that they deal with. A lot of these black boys that grow up to be, these men that, and yeah, you can't blame your trauma and everything. Go to therapy, like, I know that's the argument, but it's just I feel people just need to be more mindful.
And this is
for free.
This isn't specifically for a male example, but it's a lot of real stuff. Like, I know one person I've known for a good portion of my life went through several traumatic deaths. I haven't seen or heard from her in years now since that happened. Like, literally, I haven't seen her. She used to post on social media, all that kind of stuff. Haven't seen her again. Literally. I haven't even talked to her since. And it's just like,
I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, maybe. But
some of them went to school, right?
Yeah.
We can talk off camera.
Yeah. And I'm like, People really be going through stuff.
Yeah.
But men could be going through the same thing because but men aren't really cared for. There's no like compassion. Like you can't be sad. You're not allowed to cry. Like that whole thing.
Yeah.
You're not allowed to show emotion. Gotta just be a man. Yeah. Which is fine. It's not fine. First, it's really not fine. For me, for my personality type, I'm okay. Like I'm built for it tough. So like, if somebody was telling me man up, then I would be able. I understand what that means, and I would be able to do so. But for other people, that just doesn't work. Everybody's personality is different. Mm-hmm. That's like telling somebody with a mental illness to be better. Yeah. Like that sounds crazy. Like stop being like, be better. Stop doing those things. It's like, whoa, what do you even know? You even know what trauma people are dealing with? You know what mental illness people are dealing with? Undiagnosed stuff. Yep. It's crazy. So yeah, equity in relationships is important, and if you're not given that, then don't expect anything else. Yeah. Because it's not, and especially when it's in excess, right? Like it's not even equitable, and then you're saying you want something like up here, like it's not even remotely close financially, and then you're saying you want a bag that costs a small house. Like, nah, man, we ain't doing that.
Yeah. And honestly, like more men need to have that self control too. Cause I feel like a lot of these rich men, they throw out their money, cause they feel like that's what they need to do.
And if the man wouldn't even probably buy his own self, But
the virus on my phone.
The man would probably not even buy his own self something that much, even if he could. Yeah. Maybe. I don't see a man buying himself a $200 backpack. Or whatever the equivalent is.
I mean, maybe watches. Like you said, maybe though, because the watches.
Maybe watches is the.
I mean, they do buy their stuff.
They do,
but a lot of them are dumb with their money when it comes to girls.
You know what, the little baby, like I understand, it's kind of like a weird conversation because the conversation is about like what stemmed from them, but is the conversation is larger than that. It's mostly about the people that are normal, work regular jobs, and where buying even $1,000 bag would be the equivalent of getting a Birkin. You know what I mean? Like financially, spending $1,000 for a bag, it would be asinine, right? And it's those women that are talking about it on that level. They're like, buy me these things. That man will probably buy a girl a $1,000 bag, and would never buy himself anything for $1,000. Because my dad's like that.
Did he miss it again?
No.
Oh, I'm blind.
My dad would pay. He would give us $1,000 in a heartbeat before he even spent $1,000 on himself ever. Like that's just, what it is. Mm-hmm. But, I don't know, whatever. Next podcast, I'm gonna turn it up. I'm gonna be on here screaming. No matter what topic it is, I'm gonna just turn up for no reason.
Yeah, we need like a very infuriating topic.
I hate our podcast.
Why?
I hate it.
We need a rebrand.
Yeah, we need a rebrand.
Okay,
we'll stop being angry. Board. No, we're gonna stop being angry.
Yeah, we'll just be more funny. We'll be ourselves, how we usually.
That's the funny part.
Cause most time we're
really just chilling. That's the funny part.
Yeah, we seem angry on here, but it's really just like on here or like on social media. Like for the most part, we really just be laughing and acting goofy and chilling. Like
the worst part is me because I really don't care. Really really don't care. But like
usually I'm the one who's be mad. Yeah, sometimes I'll be mad. Like I'll be ranting to you. You just be like.
I'm just talking for the sake of content. But
yeah, like trust and believe, we good. Like clearly, like I feel like people who be angry all the time is because they're miserable. We're not miserable. Like our life is good. We chilling. We healthy. Ow, I need to go food shopping.
The only frustration I feel like I kind of feel in a way, and it's so acute, but it's I want people to. I feel like I need to be the person to lead people to the light, even though I know for a fact that can never happen.
Yeah. It could.
Because maybe people would be more open to listening to things than I think they would be.
Yeah, that's why Kevin Samuels, people claim they hate him so much, but he gets all those views every week. And a lot of times people like negative stuff.
Yeah, there's no fun in learning. There's no fun in, because we've been told our whole life, or we just feel a certain way. You know, math is boring, or
And our whole life
school
we
is
had
boring.
teachable. We were taught in a calm way.
Then people get the whole, they built the school to look like a prison because they want us to be in prison.
Or they built it like a office, so we're used to being in office buildings and sitting in a cube.
I'm like, you realize most people don't work in office buildings or
That's the
cubes?
thing, like people, like these, especially these entrepreneurs or MLM scammers, they be trying so hard to make it paint office life as so miserable. I'm not sitting in a cube for the rest of my life. I'm like, most places have office open floor plans, and they're sitting in beanbag chairs
Yeah, chilling. I'm like,
with a view of the entire city.
we looking down, like, you saw how they did my desk. It was full of baby shark stuff, and
Yeah.
beach balls
And
everywhere.
you see everybody's face, and you're talking. It's chilling, like that.
That whole 90s mundane.
But the entrepreneur, you lots of times are sitting in your house in a corner all day on a computer. So what's the difference?
Yeah, that whole, they got to get rid of that whole thing.
Yeah, like they want us.
They want us to be employees.
Yeah, they want us to work 9 to 5.
I'm like, in high school, they want you to work, be that in high school. Even in college, they want you to work in a cubicle in
And
college.
that's why, like, there was this girl who she was like an investment banker, and like I showed her video like a day in a life, and she showed how she woke up at like 6 a.m., had to take a flight to go meet a client, and came back to New York. And people were like, "Oh, this lifestyle's not for me." But I'm like, I was like, and I commented. She liked the girl liked my comment. I'm like, it might not be for you, but for some people, this is the life. This is lit for them. To like, it may be miserable to you, but this might be fun, like and exciting. Like everybody act like we all have to want what they want. I don't want to be an entrepreneur. Sorry, I don't. Like I'm cool. My 9 to 5. I'm chilling.
But also, it's miserable because what, you have to wake up at 6 in the
Yeah,
morning.
right, like-
what's so miserable about it?
I'm like, this girl's making bank.
That money
living
ain't
her best
miserable.
life. Yeah, right.
That money ain't miserable. That paid travel ain't
24,
miserable.
23, 24, making probably like almost 200K.
But you know what? That's why I feel like I hate the whole flex TikTok culture. This is a day in a life. I drink smoothies.
entrepreneur.
I'm scanning
Yeah.
my ID to get into the
Oh,
building
that's
thing.
yeah.
Like, I hate all that because that convolutes the whole point of working corporate and what these jobs are and what it can afford you and all
Yeah,
that other
now
stuff.
people think we don't do nothing.
Yeah.
To that girl who did the day in the life of an Uber worker, she didn't do a single work item. I'm like, you got that from a 47-second video.
Yeah, like they're not giving out money for no reason. It's not
Like,
a charity.
If I did day in the life at Prudential, I'm not showing Prudential information. I'm gonna get fired.
It's not a charity. They're
can't-
not giving out $100,000-$200,000 from people to do nothing. Like,
Exactly.
if that was the case, then anybody could apply. They're not
Yeah.
just handing it out.
They think that what we're doing is so easy. Like people really a lot of time downplay corporate life. Like it's not easy. Like you think when we're getting paid to getting paid and it's easy.
The reason why the lower level people can get paid is because of corporate. That's where it all starts, really, honestly.
Yeah.
It starts from the top, and then, we have
But then people think we don't work a 9 to 5. Open your minds. Okay, if the whole world had that mindset, the world would collapse. We need people in all these sectors. Like people just annoy me. And a lot of people who promote the entrepreneurship, all that stuff, people need to be able to see through that. 'Cause a lot of them who make those videos, there's something else to it. They're trying to sell a course. They're trying to sell.
Well,
a
that's
book.
always what it is. Because if they were making I promise you, if somebody was making so much money doing something else, they wouldn't be doing that.
Yeah, they wouldn't be making TikToks. Like I think
Jeff Bezos isn't doing a course on how to become wealthy, on
And
how to build a
people
company.
need to open their eyes and see through that stuff because the people fall for it all the time. They think if they read a book or if they buy a course or if they watch this YouTube video that they got the answers to life and they're gonna be rich. Like no, if you're not really doing the work or doing anything, that person they didn't scam you because they still provided something, but they're making money off of you. And then didn't we watch something? Oh yeah, there was that video. They were talking about the Rich Dad Poor Dad book author,
Mm-hmm.
how he makes most of his money from his books.
Well-
He doesn't even make majority of his money from what he's telling people that made him
Well,
money.
wait. The way he made his money was that he wrote a book from the perspective of something that he was doing that he wasn't doing, and then he made so much money off the book that he was able to do what he said he was doing in the book. So he said all the money he made on real estate investing without having real estate, but he made so much money off the book that he could do the real estate investing that he said he was doing in the book.
Okay, I get that.
You
But
know what I mean?
I thought she still did say though that he still makes most of his money though from the books.
I would hope not.
Yearly. Okay,
'Cause
maybe not anymore, but maybe in the beginning.
I've seen his properties and what
Maybe she meant in the beginning.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, like when he first started making the book.
Because I see what a kid commands, so maybe.
But
I would hope not. But he definitely
for a
makes
lot-
significant money off
Yeah,
of that.
and a lot of times that is the case though. Like even with the MLM people, they were promoting like Forrest, for example. That was the main thing from IM Academy. they're promoting all the trading, saying they make millions and this and that, but they're making most of their money from that structure of the sales commission. Like they're not making most of their money from trading. So people need to do that stuff. Everybody's always like, people are just too naive. They in the comments like, I want to get like you. This is goals. This is life I'm trying to live. Trust me, people who are really making their money and really out here aren't sitting on TikTok and Twitter making videos and tweets and spending their precious free time that they love to claim they have and brag that they have. They want to use that free time helping you get money. I promise you, people think too highly. Like, oh, they just care about other people and they're selfless and they want us to be like them. No, they don't. No, they don't. I promise you, that's such a harsh truth. Most people don't care about other people, especially strangers. Most people are selfish. They're not spending their precious free time
as they should be
coaching you, as they should be. Because they're not spending their precious time coaching you to be a millionaire. They're making money off of coaching you, knowing that most likely that you're not going to be a millionaire and that they're selling you dreams.
Yeah, Apple's not sitting down Google and telling them how to sell more Google phones.
Yeah,
they're just not, because there's no benefit to that. There's really no, unless they're just generous
with each other. Why are you helping out your ops, basically?
Unless they're just generous people, there would be no reason for me, a successful real estate person, not me personally, but if I was a successful real estate investor, there would be no benefit, zero benefit. It would be a negative benefit for me to tell you how to do X, Y, Z.
Because now you got all these people doing that, and now no one's gonna make money off of it.
But what they're able to do is they can give you these keys, or what's perceived as keys. They can give it to you, knowing that you can't do it anyway.
You can't do it, yeah. And now they're making money off you and the real estate. Smart people.
Because they'll be like, oh, it's like the whole way they package it. I bought a multifamily home, and the tenants paid the rent. But what they're not going to give you is, I took out a $200,000 leverage loan based off assets backed in this, assets backed by my mortgage, and that afforded me this. And then once I made enough money for this, then I bought that.
My parents were rich and they took a loan out for me. They let me use that, and that's why I'm young and doing this. Yeah,
or I crowdsourced or crowdfunded something, and they're never going to give you the full details, because that's what people, I think, want or expect, is that on October 14th, I did this and this is exactly how I did it. And even if you did follow that exact thing, it still wouldn't give you the same results.
Some people sell that. Oh, this was my story, but that's your story. That's not going to be everybody else's story. And I respect the hustle. Make money off ignorance. Make money off people of selling dreams. I respect it, because people are stupid. You guys don't see that you're a pawn in their game of making money. Like I said, nobody really cares. No, like you said, nobody's gonna help out their competition. Why would I give my like other people the keys? Like if I know this is the way to make money, why would I tell everybody else that? Because there's eventually, if everybody's onto it, then we're not gonna be able to make money off of it. The only thing that everybody could be onto and make money off of is the stock market, in my opinion. Because that's kind of a constant cycle that's being mostly moved by like people buying stuff out in the world. Like,
but even that, there's no. Even that's like, because the stock market, I don't even know if people really know how it works. There's a something called total outstanding shares, which is the company is divided into shares and into little pieces, which isn't a difficult concept.
Yeah.
There's still only a finite amount of shares available, and companies might issue new shares. They might do that. But every additional person that owns a share of the company kind of takes away the value of it.
That's true.
From you. So if the stock goes up $1 and there's only one share, you're going to make $1. But if there's two shares and it went up $1, you only made 50 cents because you only own one share. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Kind of thing. So the more shares that are outstanding in comparison to how many you own, it's going to drop your returns. So there's no benefit in giving keys to anybody for anything, really.
And that's why, like, for anybody who knows, like, with that whole GameStop thing, that's why that was such a huge thing in the investor world, because, like, I don't think it's like the same thing how we talk about how rich people, like, we were talking about the Miele appliances, how somebody who said they're gonna try to sell to middle class and make middle class appliances. For rich people, they might have a problem with that, because it's like that's their thing, and that's like there's a thing of exclusivity that everybody loves. So with the stock market people, there's a thing with, they know that not that many people, it's not an everyday person type thing to invest in the market and trade and all that stuff. So now when you have things like Wall Street Bets on Reddit and people discussing and putting other people on and creating, you have a really smart group of people who actually do care for others. 'Cause when you're kind of like in the mix, even then, I don't think they really care for others. They kind of they needed everybody in the group for this to work. I don't think they really care for everybody either. But even from that perspective, that's why Wall Street went crazy when that happened, because it was like, whoa, who are these regular people now that got us and making this money? So like you said, yeah, I feel like nobody really wants everybody to know, because if everybody knows, then it's not profitable anymore, and that's the reality. Like if everybody's doing real estate investing, you're gonna run out of land and houses eventually. There's no infinite amount.
Yeah, I know I said I want to be the person to give people keys. The reason why I would be willing to do it for free is because I just don't care. Like I just want people to see, not just with investing, but just in life in general. I feel like I'm still young.
Sorry to interrupt you, but we're not even not even we, but you are not really even giving them specific things to do. You're just giving them an option of things to make money in. Like you could pick.
Yeah, it's more so like explaining. Like that's the thing.
Yeah.
It's like explaining like what exactly do corporate people do? Like what are people in the office buildings actually doing? So that people actually understand what's going on, or like why people get paid what they get paid, or just explaining a lot of things that people wouldn't be privy to. Because I've been blessed to have two parents that have worked in corporate forever, made a ton of money.
Yeah.
So I know the inner workings, like being high ranking in their fields, and knowing interview strategies, what they're looking for, why they won't hire somebody even if they went to the best business school in the world. Mm-hmm. I would want to do that.
Yeah, because like that stuff could help you. Like and like for you, you're not really, because you're more so target people younger anyway, who wouldn't really. I mean, anybody could still be your competition. But like you're just genuinely giving tips that's like that. It's like you do what you want with this information, and you could turn your life around. Like it's not like you're directly saying this is how to do this, and giving people basically a template on how to make money, or like we're saying, we're more so talking about the people who literally say, hey, this is how to make $1 million, or this is how you get rich, and like they try to give them a whole. So you're saying this is how you could make better decisions that could lead to that. Like you're not telling people necessarily how to get rich, but what's the decision they could make to do it on their own, and figure it out on your own from there. Like I'm gonna give you this, and you do what you will with this information.
Yeah.
Type thing. Yeah.
Yeah. That's all I got.
But yeah, this game is getting a little crazy.
Yeah, y'all. We're gonna go finish the rest of this.
If they get a touchdown, that kick that the Chiefs kicker missed, they're gonna be on him. That's gonna be the game. Touchdown wins.
He missed the extra point too.
Yeah, it should have been. Oh wait, no, it would have still been 27. It would have still. It would have been 28. So
it should be 30-21.
They missed 4 points.
He missed the extra point and the field goal.
Oh, no, so it should be 31.
30.
Oh yeah, the extra point field goal. Yeah, 4. Well, defense needs a.
Yeah, there's only 2 minutes left, but we're gonna get out of here. Yeah. Thank you guys for watching the A Couple of Complainers podcast.
Should I still go food shopping even though it's not?
Of course.
I'm gonna go could they close at midnight? I think.
My name is Alex. I'm alongside Mal. Thank you guys for tuning in. If you made it to this point, we definitely appreciate it. As always, we will see you guys later. Gang.
I always feel like they can't see me because the mic looks like it's covering my face. Is it covering my face? No.
The mic? No, that's the screen.
Yeah.
And don't punch the mic again. We out.